Good evening, love, and good evening, light, illuminators and way showers. Thank you. In grace and gratitude, thank you once again for being with me, Wendy, as we gather in another galactic. Oh, sorry, guys. It's starting to. I was watching the. I was watching the, and I thought I had my sound down. So, see, first rookie mistake. Hey, everybody, there I am. That's me. That's Wendy. Welcome to my channel.
This is great. It's awesome.
So here we go. So, that's kind of funny because today's date equals 13. It's 9/11/2018, and the 9/11/11 energy. We've got the 11/11 portal again. So we've got once again the opportunity to express ourselves in a whole new way. And so I wanted to thank Alicia, my buddy, for joining me today. And actually it was her who it was kind of her inspiration for this night. And we just happened to be having a conversation and chatting and just kind of I don't know, I don't even know how we even got on the subject of writing, but
yeah, it just came out and we at the same time kind of had a thought, and we just knew it was divinely guided. So we thought, let's just.
I said, I was wanting to do I was wanting to do an event on 9/11 for the 11/11 energy anyway. And so so she had happened to reach and read something from one of her journals. And I thought, wow, writing has always been a passion of mine. And whether it has or hasn't with you, all of you out there, as I just wanted to back up just a little bit since I got kind of sidetracked with my own little echo there. So thank you for being with me. If this is your first time viewing Ms. Wendy, I'm a light language linguist, I guess, activator, oracle. I love helping people just find their inner light. And one of the things that helped me was opening my channeling abilities was through automatic writing, was through galactic symbols, of which I was watching other people writing. I was listening to other people speaking galactic light languages. And so before I started all of this actually myself, all of it was part of my awakening process. Every single bit of it, of course, as we know, is everything I believe speaks a language of light, that because everything is a part of creation, because the one is the all are the one, and there's nothing outside of the all. And so I believe that everything has its own essence, its own frequency, its own resonance, and literally speaks its own language, whether it's people, whether it's planets, whether it's everything in nature, whether it's music. And Alicia, that's one of the things that brought us together was light languages. And when we first met, it was kind of funny because I had known her for a little while, and I can't even remember at what point you actually started speaking light languages.
Oh, wait a minute, Wendy, you were there the first time I was talking with Max.
I was going to say, wasn't I there? Wasn't I there?
For whatever reason, you popped in, and then you said, we speak the same, or it sounds like we speak the same language. And then you actually wrote me something on my YouTube that said we would speak together sometime, or on the bottom of that video, because Max was going through the dictionary. Remember? He's like, can you say this word? Can you say this word? Can you say this word?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you said that too, because that's one of the biggest questions I get all the time. Slates. Can you interpret this? So what I'd like to say to that is that it's like listening to music. And I wanted to get to that, so I don't want to forget about that because of Alicia and her tie to music and our ties to music, because I believe that part of that is all about this, writing and writing music and linguistics and signs and symbols and words. And so light language, like listening to, and penetrate us in a way that we don't always understand. They can provoke and evoke emotional responses within us. And I have to say, probably everybody I've encountered so far who has said in their experiences, whether it's my light languages or someone else's, the experience, the feelings are so profound that they don't even really understand what's happening to them. And I know the first times I started hearing them, I was crying and I had absolutely no idea why. I really didn't understand what was actually happening to me physically, spiritually. I knew that I was opening something. And it's interesting because even I've always loved writing. And so I believe that channel for me has always, so I've been one who has spoken when I didn't feel that I had a voice. Writing was a way for me to feel and express my voice. And so it was at that time my language of light, I guess. And so I believe that we've all come to understand that the plants speak, the animals speak, we can hear telepathically each other. And so often when I'm receiving, I don't know, am I frozen, Alicia? I'm like, I see myself frozen. I'm like, oh, am I frozen?
Yep. That's okay. I think you're probably okay now.
Okay.
A lot of times, like for me, but see, our connection, I don't know if it's my computer, but our connection back and forth, last time we tried to talk, we were either freezing or, random things would kind of happen. If you're freezing, I'll let you know that I didn't hear what you said. So.
Okay, good. Yeah, please do, because for me, I'm kind of frozen. So I want to make sure that, I don't know if I should look, let me see. I was gonna say I should look at my phone and see if I'm moving in the video and then I'll know. At any rate, so yes, I do see myself moving. So, writing for me has always been a passion. And since I was a child, I began writing poetry. My first poem was published in the local newspaper when I was 9 years old. And so it's always been a passion for me. And I always felt it was something I even wanted to do for a living, although I never ended up doing that. Writing in journals and journaling has always been something that, especially actually later in life, became a huge outlet for me. And so I wanted to preface it with that it isn't necessarily something that happens. It's something you could be interested all your life, or it could be something that maybe just now sparks. I know these symbols and things that I started writing really didn't start until I actually started speaking light languages. So the point with all of that is the spoken languages, often I can get these immense downloads, and they have even equated it to the equivalency of sending, billions of amounts of data through, say, light, through, fiber optic cables, that we can't even begin to imagine the amount of information that flows through that. And that's what we open up. And so when we're opening up to this information, it like flows through us almost like water through sand, and it affects our light bodies, our DNA, our cellular structure, our brain, our synapses, how we think, how we look at the world, how we process information, how we receive channeled information from our guides. At least that's been my experience. And so a lot of the symbols and things came later, but one of the things that I wanted to share with everybody, and now it's so weird. My PC is frozen, but I can see myself moving. It's very strange. So I have all of these journals here next to me, and this is just a fraction of some of the journals that I have going even right now. Some of these are brand new. Some of these are in the works. Some of these are for symbols. Some of these are specifically for channeling. Some of these are just for fun. Each one has like a passion and a purpose. Um, Many of these have been gifted to me. Some of them are ones I've found that were really inexpensive, like in the dollar store, and some of them were some nicer ones that I came across. For any of you who've been watching me for a little while, I used to walk in the farm fields doing a lot of videos, and so my son bought me these field notes little journals, and they're just filled with all the information about farm,
That's so cool.
Isn't it? I mean, I've got cotton and corn, and I think I've even done a video about it. Hay, wheat, soybeans, sorghum, and so forth. And so they're just part. The reason I wanted to bring that up is because part of the channeling is the fun of it, right? Part of it is the joy of the book. Like this one I think I found in a dollar store. It's 2 arrows, and it's really synchronistic because I'm a Sagittarian, so I related with the arrows right away. And what's weird, you guys, is I literally found 2 arrows in my walks in the farm fields. And when I was doing languages, and 2 separate times I found arrows, and so I brought them home. They are literally hanging on my wall at here in exactly this. So I'm like, so it's things like that. And so I actually have trunks filled with journals, and my writing style has changed completely ever since I began. And so one of the things that I found in my own writing is the power of our own words, and especially with manifestation. And it was interesting because I found this little journal, which I also got at the dollar store, and I found an entry, and it was interesting because as I was asking my guides, like what to share for tonight and things like that, I was guided to particular journals, and it was really funny. And I love this one because it's little moons and stars, and it's very tiny, so I could carry it in my purse and things. So anytime I was anywhere where I had to wait or, sit or someplace, I would just have it with me, and that way I could jot down notes. Of course, now everybody carries, a cell phone, and and so, but at any rate, it was funny because I found an entry from 2005. And it's interesting because everything I wrote in here in 2005 has actually 13 years later come to pass. And so it was very, very interesting for me to experience that. And so and it was kind of funny because everything rang so true for me that it was so in perfect timing for today. And so one of the things we wanted to do tonight too was share, share some of the information that we had written. And one of the loves that Alicia and I both share is a love of music. She actually is fortunate enough to play piano, an instrument that I don't. So, but I've always loved writing song lyrics and poetry. And so back in 2005, now mind you, I was still living north of Chicago, and I had 3 years prior taken a vacation to Tennessee and had been looking for property. And so in 2005, we were still in the process of looking for property. Year after year, we would come here on vacation, and we would spend our entire vacation driving because everything was so far apart, property to property, to look for the perfect place. And I wrote one day, I am grateful, I am happy, I am strong. I see myself in the garden, writing poetry, my novel, reading before an audience, my words, loving my work, living a long, healthy, happy life filled with healthy, happy people, family, friends, watching the sunset on our mountain on Kentucky Lake with my loving husband, loving in love with life, in harmony with the universe, whispering, thank you. 13 years later, I am living that. A year later, by complete happenstance, we found this particular piece of property, and in 2010, we built this little cabin and have since moved here full time for not quite 2 years yet, and have transformed it into what we're trying to transform it into our home. So the power behind our words and our intentions obviously is very powerful, because that was my vision. And now I'm living my vision. And so many of you, I'm so delighted that you also are, that I am able to share this with all of you. So, and it was interesting because it wasn't until I got to know Alicia for a little while and started speaking languages with her. And it wasn't until after that that I found out that her passion was, that she is a historical apothecary, and that, and I was absolutely fascinated by that. And so one of the reasons why I love doing these galactic gatherings is because I love helping people like come out and tell everybody what they do and what they love and what their passions are. And she does this for a living. And so so anyway, I just wanted to kind of express that too. And there's so many facets of us, and everything is connected. I completely believe that. And you guys know that just from any of you that watch me, you know that I believe that all of these numbers are connected. And even today, here we are, number, on 9/11/11. And this, again, I feel this energy portal that we all decided to come together today to utilize this energy to have this galactic gathering. And sorry, I just got distracted. I can hear the coyotes howling outside. And how everything's connected, and how today equals 13, and it's a day of transformation. So once again, here we are having this, putting ourselves out there, and this is one of the ways that opened up like my channeling abilities. And I have had some of the absolute most profound information come through that I've never even shared, because it was, pretty personal and private. And so I just didn't know if.
Well, remember, that's how we started talking about
and
this.
That's how, right. And I said, I don't know if we should share this and
things and random private. People need to know that. Don't you think people need to, that would help someone? I'm like, well.
And I said that, I was like, don't you think that would help somebody? When she read it to me, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
You know what it was? It was the human. It was the human thing.
That's the human thing. Yes. Anyway, yeah. So so tell me about your writing, like experiences too.
So I spoke light language, but I didn't know what it was. I spoke it ever since I was little. And then what happened was, like, when you go to school and your parents are like, stop talking, because that's not normal, like you just stop and you don't think anything of it because you're a kid. It's like, an imaginary language or whatever that you made up. And then 3 years ago or so, I had kind of a language awakening where I had a very now dear friend do a channeling for me. And she was like, so your guides say that you have a galactic language. You actually have many galactic languages, and you've been refusing to speak them. And I told her, I said, that's not galactic language. That's just a random language that I made up when I was a kid. and they said no, and that I needed to start speaking it again and practice in the shower. And so I did. And the next thing you know, Wendy and I met, and I speak languages all day long. I'll just be working and randomly I speak language to my apothecary things that I make. So, you know.
Exactly. And that's what I wanted to say about the translation information that come through when I'm speaking languages. Sometimes it's words, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's a feeling. Sometimes I can tell who it is. Like today, I was just engulfed in this beautiful energy of, and it's like I can feel different energies. And like yesterday, I could feel Mother Mary. And one of the things that Alicia and I share, and when when you talk about being afraid to come out with this stuff, one of the things that came up the other night is how much we communicate telepathically and through automatic writing with Michael Jackson.
That's a true story.
And
yeah.
It's God's honest truth. And so it's not something that we've talked about a lot or shared a lot, but you know what? Why not? Because now I will say that Alicia and I it's not just since his passing. She and I have been somehow inexplicably soul connected to him since we were children. So of course it would only stand to reason, but this is part of the whole process, you guys, that we want to talk about with automatic writing and how that opens that up. The things that have come through in some of my channelings have been crucial to my awakening process and to my ability to actually believe this crap is actually happening.
Agree. You know, I fully believe, had I not kept journals from little on, so like this isn't the first journal I kept, because the first one I made out of like a little cardboard pieces of paper, but this is like the second journal. So I started when I was really, really little, and I journaled through my twin flame stuff. I mean, I still journal about twin flame stuff, but just being able to go back and read what you wrote, not knowing why you wrote it at that moment, but then having that aha moment and being able to have series after series. Like here in the library, I have like 2 bookshelves just full of journals. I journaled that much. And sometimes I just go through these moments where I reread them, and stuff that I didn't know why I wrote or didn't make sense to me at that time did. So for example, and this is another really strange, out of this world experience. When I met my twin flame, I wrote down a specific date. So I was like, hey, I met this really cool guy on this date, right? And like we hang out, we play a lot of Uno together, and it's really fun. And and then whenever I would write about things, I would always add 5 extra years to us knowing each other. And I wouldn't have known that had I not kept specific dates and kept really good writings of the experiences. And so I brought it up to my teams and guides one day, and they're like, well, that's because you guys do this like time travel thing. And I was like, get out of here. Like, that's whatever. That's not true. And then I was talking with Takur, and like, they said, yeah, that's, and I didn't bring it up. So they brought it up separately. And they said, yeah, that's exactly what you guys have done. You were on this like time jump mission. Now that doesn't necessarily mean like going back. It could be whatever, just another portion of you is on this mission while, you're still going to school and stuff. So, but they totally confirmed it for me, and they were even surprised that I figured this out, but it was because I kept really good notes, and I didn't, just because I felt like writing something, I would write it. I wasn't held back because it was my own personal thoughts. So it's really helped me grow as far as my awakening and my understanding of the crazy world that is me and that I live in.
And I wanted to, something you said too about Takur, because Takur, just for anybody who doesn't know, Alicia and I met, I think we met actually through Human Colony, and Takur is a Lyran who is part of Girk Vignir, who is a group of
Galactic
Galactic assistants up there in ships, and we spend a lot of time up there, a lot of time teaching, a lot of time learning, a lot of time doing a lot of stuff. And so anyway, one of the ways that I was able to begin channeling and connecting and remembering and was, it's not even, you guys, it's not like well, I don't know how to write. Well, it's not about that. What I did is, this is one of the very first, this was a gift, actually from my son many, many years ago. And this book, I think, goes all the way, this one goes back to, gosh, like kind of the early days, if you will. And what I started doing was I just started writing words and names, and it's, I mean, just nothing neat, nothing. I mean, it's just, it's not like it necessarily has to be. So, and some of these that I have wrote then, and just things that I wrote, were things that have come to pass, entities I've come to meet, even back then. Keepers of the gate, we are the gatekeepers, the star gatekeepers. I mean, all just stuff that out of the blue. Oh, masters of the moment. Oh, look what I found. You know, that kind of stuff. I've actually connected to animal collectives through automatic writing. I've, you know, through these symbols that I've done, you know. And today, you know, that's another thing. Today equals 13. So 13 equals 4. So the Syrian symbol for number 4 is prepare. And and then today's date equals 13. So the image that I got, oh, and it's a new moon too. So I've got my little new moon guy here. It's just a bookmark. Prepare to transform. So it was like I was getting this message today all day long, this 9/11/11 message, prepare to transform. And I don't want to be remiss by saying, you know, by not mentioning that 9/11, and it really did transform, you know, how we think and how we feel about each other. And I think that it's brought up a lot of stuff since 2001, and how I really believe that this is truly our time of complete transformation as a collective consciousness. And so that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love doing these gatherings, because I really believe that it helps each other, give each other permission in any way we can to open up these galactic channels. And when we say galactic, it's not even just about meeting and preparing, you know, for meeting ETs and speaking light languages, although that is absolutely, as you know, one of my, and I think that you spoke them all your life, Alicia. I mean, because I really didn't start speaking them until I started listening to other people on YouTube, and then started actually, and that's how I found Human Colony, which is basically a channel, it's a community of channelers. And that's how we would just spend hours and hours and hours and hours together, just playing and speaking light languages and open channels and just talking about everyday stuff and our lives and how does this affect us. And so it's not about writing, it's not about being perfect, it's not about making like, oh, writing anything that makes any sense necessarily, but I've been able to connect to hybrid children. And then actually people will say, well, how can you tell the difference if you're writing it or if it's just coming through? Well, for me, it's kind of like, say, if you really want, you're sitting down to write something. So whether it's a grocery list or whether it's a novel or whether it's a paper or an email, your brain is engaged, right? I mean, in the way that you're like, I'm thinking about the words I want to write. Automatic writing isn't like that. And it's more about, all of a sudden, I'll get this like instinct to pick up the pen and the paper. And then it's as if somebody has something to say and I'm just writing, and I'm not like, I can barely read what I write sometimes when I'm channel writing, because I'm trying to keep up with And so it's different. It feels completely different. It's like thinking a thought and receiving information from your guides. It's a complete, how does it feel for you? And also, I just remembered, I wanted to say hi to Lonnie because Alicia's got a friend with her, Lonnie, and I didn't want to leave her out. I'm like, I forgot. I forgot. Alicia's got, she's got company there. And so I just wanted to say hi. I didn't want to leave her out.
You'll speak up if you have a question or you want to say something. Yeah. She also, like many, is newer to it than you and I are. So we have fascinating conversations over tea, and just all kinds of stuff. So it's really, I'm so blessed to have someone who understands me live so close to me, because otherwise, you know, in the modern world, we're still not all there. And so it's hard for those who are opening to their true selves and are and how things work, and to even just have someone to talk to or like go over and have tea and be like, so I've been thinking about this, or but I wanted to add to what Wendy was talking about the automatic writing. So when I was little, I thought what you were supposed to do is you were supposed to start on a piece of paper and just start making little lines, like little whatevers, and it's supposed to like say something. Well, I don't know, some people may do that, but for me, what I found out works really well is like Wendy, I just have this urge to grab a pen and start writing. So if I'm going to sit down to do an automatic writing, it doesn't really work that way. I have to have somebody who wants to say something. And then a lot of times I'll hear their voice in my head, and it's not the way I speak, it's the way they speak. So for example, we were talking about the Ramses thing. Now, I don't know yet if it's Ramses 100%, but I will say this, that I think I read that one to you, where I was writing down everything he was saying, and he compared me to a blooming flower. And I said something like, I'm not a blooming flower, and I am not writing that. And he goes, you will write that because that's what I say. And then I was like, I fight with like my people. So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. So he's like, just do it. He's like, just do it. You'll see why. The next day I had a portrait of my higher self drawn, and I kid you not, her dress was like a blooming flower. And then after I got it and I was staring at it, I was like, I cannot believe this is happening. He goes, see, I know what I'm doing. You're gonna trust, because that's Michael's thing too. He's always like, you gotta trust. You know, you always like have to pick everything apart, and you have to try and like research everything. And you just, why can't you just trust? And it's hard, you know. Like I'm good. I mean, I'm. It's a constant process. I'm good at it, but I can get better at it, you know? And I like to keep that path. Like, I'm not crazy. Like, I have to prove this stuff is happening, you know?
I have to laugh too. When I used to think back, I have this trunk, and it's got a handle on it. It's full of journals, because I always wanted I want them all in one place, because I always said, if I had to save anything in a fire, it's gonna be my journal.
Me too. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, they gotta go. And they're heavy because I've got all of them. And so but anyway, that wasn't even what I was gonna say. I was like, oh shoot, that wasn't even what I
wanted to explain the human thing too when you're ready.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So not only do I do automatic writing sometimes, but I also sometimes at night, when I can just relax and like light the candles and do some meditations, I get the downloads of light language or galactic language, and then I'm able to translate them as they come in. And so I record myself doing this. And sometimes, like what you say, you can say this really long sentence in galactic language, and like it can be 2 words in English, or it can be like a million words in English could be like 2 words. So I'm always like da 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 da, and then I'll say, you know, this is what they did and this is what they did, but then you're always trying to keep up with yourself because you're in your mind, the language is like a constant, and then you have to like just kind of stop.
Yes.
So what I was going to say is that I've had downloads of like the beginnings of Earth. And in the beginnings of Earth, they talked about how Earth was formed, and they talked about the humans, but then it wasn't humans, it was humans. And so I asked them why they were calling it, my team, why they were calling it humans. And they said that it's HU and MAN. So the man is the physical body, and the who is like the soul or the energy or the aspect. You can't have just a man without a who, because the who is the part that actually activates the man, if that makes sense. So together it's human. They called it human. So now every time I think about human, I'm always writing HU-MAN.
I've heard my own telepathic messages. I have heard them use that actual term, and they said it that way, human, and that's the way they said it. So very interesting.
Well, that's a good confirmation then, right there.
Yes, exactly. Very much so. So, I have learned, like, I've gotten downloaded information about sunlight, about moonlight, about how, I mean, just things that, it's like, I know, like you said, it's like it's somebody else's voice. It's like I can hear, like you said, it's in a completely different dialect even.
Right.
Than
in different words.
My mind, you know.
Right, exactly. And I like that.
But it's still a part of us, though. I mean, we still have to look at it that way, though, is that this is what we want to, one of the other aspects, this is that we have to remember is a lot of these this is our other ET self sending us information through the channel pipeline. Right. And once you open up the door, oh my God, you guys, it doesn't stop. I mean, seriously, like one day, this is an example. One day I felt this loving, warm, this beautiful energy coming through to me one day. And and I'm so bad because you know what? A lot of times I don't even date these. I can't even tell you when this was, but this was one of my first pads.
When you gotta date them, girl?
I know. I used to be so good about that. So this guy comes through. First, I drew this, just this right here, nothing else on the page. So first I draw, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, and I start seeing him like dancing on the page, like saying, hello, I am here to, how did he say it? Like, express my love of life. And my name is Diani Inda. And I'm like, Diani Inda? And I'm like, wait a second. I don't, let me write that down, so I'm like, okay, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, and I'm reading it backwards and forwards. I'm like, well, what does it mean? I'm still Diani Inda. And he says, that's what that means. He says, life. And I'm like, oh, okay. and so he says, these are all the beings that float around with me in my frequency, because they are also there. They say that they are also their frequency, and this is their frequency of their expression of the love of life. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like coming to my eyes, and I'm like, oh my God, I love you, and now I don't know what I don't know.
I was just looking at that bottom part. That's
what the symbols really mean. I don't know what whoops, sorry. So you know what I mean? It's like, and it was like a being, so it's like, this is the kind of stuff that, and then just all kinds of stuff started coming just pouring through, just book after book of.
You know,
yeah, let me see.
What it is, but it's there.
I just have, I mean, just volumes of this stuff, and I'm like, where does
I'll
this?
read. Do you want me to read that one?
Yeah, read that. Yeah, read it.
Channeled from Mike.
Yeah, because that's a good one, especially because it came from him. I know, I'm looking at all the symbols going, well, there's just so many, it's like overwhelming.
Okay. So this one was on 7/3/18. And Mike said, "This is for the world. You are here for the world. Don't be like them. Be an example for them. Send children up to the world. Help those, let it be the change, but don't lose yourself in the process. Take their hands and help them remember, and just be love." And then he spelled it out, LOVE. And then he said together, and I was like, "Is that it?" And he's like, "No, together we can heal the world." I was like, "Oh, okay." Okay. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Just like we were at Lonnie sitting next to me, runs local museum for her town. And I told you about this, Wendy. And so we took the voice box there, the ghost voice box, right? We're just sitting and we were just chatting. And I said, "Oh, I feel Mike. I'm sure Mike's here." And then because you had your two kids.
Yeah.
And so then the little one's like, "Hey MJ, how you doing, MJ?" So over the voice box, what did it say? Singer. It said it was 3 words, but it said something singer Mike.
Yeah, it did say, yeah.
Is what it said.
Oh, that's right.
Remember?
I can't remember what the first
I
word
can't remember what
was.
the first one was though, but anyway, so then the girls decided that he should sit in this comfy chair over there. And so as he was chilling out there, we were getting some information about some other people around in the area. And there was this one woman. And so remember we had said to her, we said, "So do you see the guy in the chair? Have you talked to him?" And she's like, "No." And we said, "Well, you can talk to him. He's nice." And I said, "Mike, have you like talked to her and asked her if she needs help?" And he's like, "Yeah." And so it was just this great thing. I was like introducing these people and like a different realm that have no clue who the other is, but like we're all helping each other and healing the world, right?
We're all just helping each other and healing the world. Because that's just like what we do. That's our frequency.
That's what we do. And then the voice box kept saying hungry.
Yes.
Hungry.
Yes.
So then we put out, so like on our table, we put out crackers so they could enjoy the energy of the crackers that we were eating as well. You know?
How kind of you.
I know. I thought the same thing. Like we do what we can do. But like that's just how crazy things are. Like who would have ever, because you know, like with channel, there's energy learns is there. And so like the fact that, you know, I was able to recognize it, but then on the voice box, everybody around the table,
that's pretty crazy.
That's going above and beyond. So thank you. That was yeah, I would be lost without automatic writing, and now that we can record because it's so simple on our phones, there's so many light language downloads or galactic language downloads that I've recorded in the hopes that someday I'll be able to put them up, or some of them are stories, like I was saying, like the story of the world, and like I have these at one point built them, but it's just nice. If you don't do it, you forget, you know, as we get older, like our memory, our memory isn't just so.
I forget stuff from that morning. I write song lyrics in my head all the time, and I'm always walking around the house singing weird songs and making up my own lyric. And I'm like, I should really write this down. I said, you know, because there are like goofier songs out there besides that one. You know, I was like, I should really write this stuff down, you know. One of the things that I noticed, what's that, hon?
I was gonna say any song has to be better than like Pants on the Ground. Pants on the Ground. Isn't that what that song is?
Yeah, jeez. That's what I mean, you know. And so I come up with this stuff, and it's like I really should be writing this stuff down, because that really was something that I always wanted to do. Was like I wanted to write song lyrics for a living. And even though I didn't know how to write music or read music like you are so blessed to be able to do and play the piano so beautifully. Oh, that was the other thing.
What?
The other night when you and I were talking, this is the kind of stuff that you can't make up. So we're talking about automatic writing, and all of a sudden I got this really weird vision, and it like, oh my God, you guys, oh my God. It was like, I can't tell you how I felt. I felt like this pouring out of love all of a sudden. I got this vision, and I know absolutely, positively, unequivocally, it was Alicia in another party, and I could see her, and I was in this gorgeous, just, you know, the homes, when would we place the 1800s, I guess, you know, the
I think
just
it would have been like late 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah, exactly. And I already know I've got many like timelines where I have lived. I am living that right now, that life right now. But at any rate, so I'm looking, and I'm standing in this, like, what felt to me this grand, like, ballroom, and very huge, beautiful, ornate, high ceilings, the whole 9 yards. And I'm looking at somewhat of a distance, and I'm looking at, and I know it's Alicia because I can feel like the energy. And I see her sitting at a piano, kind of hunched over and writing music and plunking out the keys, and, you know, and writing the notes and plunking out some more keys and writing notes. And I'm standing there, and all of a sudden I realize the reason why I feel like I do is because I think I'm her wife, and she's not a her, she's a him. And at least I was pretty sure it felt like a him, but almost like an effeminate him. And so I felt this love, just this, an overwhelming love, surge of love, as I'm standing watching this like person just in their most passionate creative process. And so yeah, it was pretty intense, so I told her about it right away, and that was like, and then she started looking some stuff up, and then looking up names, and everything started to like, and so it was like, it was almost as if I was seeing like that parallel reality, I guess, of us or something. Oh, we lost. I lost Alicia. Hopefully she'll be able to come back to us. We were having weird issues all earlier this evening too, so hopefully she'll be able to join us back. Let's see, how are we doing on time? Actually, I should probably look at the time. 8 o'clock. Okay, yeah, we kind of late start. So at this point we were just broadcasting. We weren't sure if we were gonna have time to put out a link or not, to have people join the hangout or not. So we also wanted to just read a couple things and just do some light languages and share some of the things that that we had written, and we also wanted to pull some cards. And so we were hoping to kind of squeeze all that in if we could. So one of the things that hopefully that when Alicia, if she can come back to us, it was interesting because as I was going through my journals and I was looking for, as I was guided to, I came across this book. And I haven't looked at this particular journal in quite some time. And it was actually, I opened it up and it was from 9/11/2015. So I kind of had a laugh about that too, at the synchronicity of that. While I'm waiting for Alicia too to see if she can come back, I just wanted to thank you guys all for being here today. Oh, there she is. Oh, there she goes. I just want to thank everybody for being here and your comments and watching and interacting. And I just want everyone to, I think part of the big message we wanted to get out tonight is that absolutely everything you guys receive, and as if you know me, you know, I already believe completely that absolutely everything we receive is from guidance from our soul families, other fractals of ourselves, whether they're other planets, whether they're other frequencies, whether they could even be non-physical beings sending light codes of information that we are interpreting. And I really want to hone in on that word interpreting as opposed to translating, because I'm not saying that there are not galactic languages that are not from species that don't have a word for word interpretation, because there are. But I've come to experience that most of the time when I'm receiving a message, especially when it's language, it's more about I'm getting like blocks of information, and then I'm having to interpret into my own language, through my own language, what it is that I feel they're trying to convey. It's not exactly the same as translation. Even someone who, now I do not know actual sign language. However, somehow I know that there's a species right now watching that happens to understand everything I'm saying simply because of how I'm using my hands right now, because this is all they understand. They don't speak, we can't even imagine sometimes the types of beings that are out there. And some of them, and many of the hybrid children, this is how we communicate because they're primarily telepathic. So see, here I am already. It's already starting. So like, it's like, but I think what I wanted to reiterate with all this is whether the horse before the cart and all that is that even if,
like, I have a challenge to go along with this.
Good. Even Abraham Hicks.
You finish, and then I'll find it.
Well, even Abraham Hicks used to say, just write down words and things like that. If you're, and so my thoughts were going in all these different directions, and with respect to all of this, but it really opens up these direct connections. It's like saying to your guides, I'm ready to receive information, and I'm going to let my mind part, the part that thinks, set aside and let the information come through. But again, like the light languages, sometimes, yes, it feels like, yes, I'm writing word for word. What are they saying? And it's word for word. And sometimes it's the more of the, I don't know, like essence or names or information, and sometimes I'm like, what does this even mean? I'm like, I don't even understand. I can't even how do I connect these dots? What is this? And and I would write Kamora and Kamakatakora, and I would write all these names, and they were saying, we're just in your frequency right now, and we want to just say hello. And some of them would say, we're Syrian, we're Pleiadian, we're Lyran, we're this, we're that, and they would introduce themselves. So it opens up a lot of doors. But anyway, yes, go right ahead.
Okay, so I want to go back to the thing that you're talking about first. Just that, so channeling is such a vast aspect. It's not just in creative writing or even automatic writing. But what you and I were doing, where we were just talking, and then all of a sudden you got that download of the timeline cross. And
yes. Oh my God.
That was channeling too. And so
it was powerful.
At first I thought, well, maybe you saw me because I was a student at Beethoven's. But then as you were describing it, I was like, whoa, this is really weird. I said, because I had an experience where I have to look up his name, Rimsky-Korsakov. So if you guys know who he is the Flight of the Bumblebee guy. so
that was it.
Yeah. So the fact that, and there's actually this picture. Remember we shared pictures, and I was like, I look actually really feminine in this picture. Like I kind of have the face that I have now. It was a very feminine face before I grew like the Russian beard and everything, But that woman had the wife of Nikolai Rimsky had so many correlations with you after we like looked her up.
That was so freaky because then she was right. She's reading about his wife and I'm like freaking out going, oh my God, I know this is true. And then I'm like, my oldest son's name is Nicholas. And there's in the family, there's in his father's family, there's Nicomedes. And so I'm like, okay, this is really weird. And it was almost as
and
if
her birthday.
And then her birthday. That was the other thing.
That was something. It was something to do with like her first symphony.
Something to do with Bewitched. And then I said something about, earlier I said, Bewitched used to be one of my favorite shows. And then later on you read something about Bewitched. And then she had 2 different birthdays. They couldn't confirm. One of them was October 31st. And I'm like, I'm telling you, that was it.
Yeah. And that's how channeling happens sometimes. It's not like,
right.
Step 1, step 2, step 3.
Or yes, or I am, and I'm not saying it doesn't have, but it exactly, there's so many nuances and layers of communication. You can't box it. You can't categorize it. You can't say, what does this mean? And, to me, that's like them saying, hi, how you guys doing? There's a bunch of us from different places here. We're really excited about this gathering because it shows us that you are all more aware of us and that there's more out there than you ever thought. And your capability of being able to connect with us is better than you ever thought. And this is just one of many ways and permission slips for us to be able to connect with you, because we can only connect in certain ways through, to the 3rd dimension, clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience. Some people hear words, some people smell things, some people see visions. I happen to see visions. I see timelines. I meet people and all of a sudden it's like I can see like all these different timelines that I've been with them, or say somebody comes to me and they want to know like, what is it that I'm, how do I find out what I really want? What am I good at? And all of a sudden I start to see like little potential timelines. And so as we begin interacting with each other and hanging out and and we were just actually just having a girly night. We were just having a girly conversation about everything.
It was like just work conversation. It was like just normal
work stuff, normal stuff. And we even laughed, you guys, because we talked for, oh my God, it was like 3.5 hours. And we had to laugh because I said, it was like 3:33. And I'm like, that's our cue, girl. We got to go. And she had to get up for work and stuff. And, but it was funny because even at the end of the night, I said, isn't that weird? I said, that's the first time I think you and I have ever been together. Although all the time, not once did we speak light languages together.
No, we didn't. Now that you're speaking, I want to say.
And this is how this whole night was born about automatic writing, because we started talking about that. And then we were following these threads of things that we were, it
goes from one thing to
that we were interested in. So, what were you going to read?
This will pull it all together. So this was an automatic writing from 9/4/18, and of course, I have a little pyramid of numbers because then I always add all the numbers together and bring them down to the number. And
I do too.
Which was a 4, Wendy. You were talking about 4s today, right?
2 equals.
All right, so it says, we are here, little one. We are happy with your progress. There is still much wisdom to be unlocked. You are learning about your true self, your energetic, your soul self, as well. This will unlock many doors. We are all in need of we all need self-expansion time, so take it. Meaning that, when you need to rest, you need to rest. When you need to not do videos, you need to not do videos. You just need to spend time in that quiet mode. So then they say, more information for the masses soon, but first you need to process before you can teach. And I was like, okay, Thanks, because sometimes like they just need to be blunt, right?
Oh yeah, I get that ethereal smack in the head all the time. Believe me. I know.
And it says the planet is evolving faster than humans' minds can comprehend. Humans as well, if they have chosen. What this all means is there will be attempts made to stop the process, but don't let that bother you. So.
And yes,
Yeah.
I had to laugh. I was kind of listening. I was watching the messages too. And this is exactly what happens too, is they talk to us. And this is why a lot of this stuff I don't share, because a lot of this, it's just, I know it's for me. It's messages from them to me. And it's not always, you know, sometimes it's about lessons we need to hear. And the nice part about it is it's unabridged. It's like we can't fake, we can't fake what we're saying. You're like,
exactly.
Damn it. And I had to laugh too.
And that's why when I was reading these things to you, and you're like, don't you think other people would like to hear that? I was like, I guess so.
Yeah,
Wendy.
I said, hey, well, I was thinking about doing a video on 9/11/11. I said, you want to talk about this stuff? You're like, yeah, let's do that. So that's how this day was born. So ascending to 5D ASAP. I love it. I wanted to say thank you for being here, and thank you so much for your messages all the time.
We have a question there too, Wendy.
And I was laughing too, because they said, I would not be surprised at all if Wendy could call UFO crafter her sky. Shakina Rose calls them and they appear above her. That is true. And I wanted to say that for all of you, that all of us, when we open that door and we say we're ready, you know, lots of times I stargaze almost absolutely every night that I can. And even if it's just for a couple minutes, I go out there and say hi. And almost always I truly believe that things are connecting with me. So that is pretty funny. But Krista, Reza, hey, is that Krista out there? Hey lady. She channels the Orion Council. Hey girl. So yeah, we were talking about light languages and channeling and automatic writing. And actually, I think Krista, I know, has talked about this before too. But yeah, what questions do we got out there?
It's Miss Snow. Miss Snow. So she says when she writes, she's noticed that she has various handwritings match. So like, let's say she has like 2 or 3 different handwritings, and then when she goes back and reads them, she'll recognize the handwritings that match. And she wants to know, how does she know if it's actually her and not who I'm channeling? Wait, how do I know what's actually me and not who I'm channeling?
Well, like I said, too, you can, like I said, we covered a little bit earlier about the difference between how it feels, whether you're thinking the information or whether you're receiving the information. I think one of the ways I can tell is, like you said, the different handwritings. I know when I'm really writing and in my journal and I'm writing like I'm just writing my normal stuff. Like if I write in my journal in the morning, for example, I'll write the date. I add it up just like you. I see what numbers, I see what resonates with me. I see what information comes out. It may be the full moon, the new moon. It's kind of interesting. I have to tell you, Alicia, this is really weird that we even decided to get together today and talk about this, because I was feeling so remiss. I got to tell you, in addition to those stacks of journals, you guys, this is the bag I carry around with me. And this is the one I carry up and down the stairs. And when I'm doing videos, depending on where I go, I've got one for drawing, I've got one for telepathic messages, one for daily journaling, one for drawing symbols. I've got pens, pencils, I've got everything with me all the time. That's what a freak I am about this. So, I mean, seriously, I have a problem, I think. So,
But it's a good problem to have, because when you're in the zone like that, it feels so good.
It does.
You know, versus, because we were talking about that too, versus coming back down to like get the normal
but the handwriting
stuff.
To back to the.
But so I want to clarify real quick. So that her handwriting never matches. She said, I never write 2 writings with the same handwriting. So I would say that for me, that's fairly common. I don't think I have a specific handwriting style. Sometimes I like when I just because where mine aren't. You know, I personally wouldn't be too concerned about it. If what I would do to start building that relationship is start with the relationship of talking to your guides, learning who your guides are, what signs they're telling you, what their individual energy feels like. And so you can kind of start to recognize, and then you'll be able to say, hey, like, did I write this? Was this a fractal? Was this a piece of my higher self? If, you know, I probably is all handwriting, because you have to remember that you are so many pieces of experiences. And, you know, like when you, that's why we talk about like all the experiences in past lives, because the ones that you've chosen to help you on this path, they're there, and sometimes they just pop out when you need them. And so if your writing's a little bit different, it could just be a different aspect of yourself.
I even told
coming through
that the other night when we were talking about what to
say.
Oh, go ahead.
She's got something to say.
So we went to a place called Old World, Wisconsin last year, 2 years ago, something like that. And we went to the one-room schoolhouse there, and the teacher does this little spiel and has you practice, I can't remember the technique, but it's a certain type of penmanship. Oh, Palmer method.
Palmer method.
So you use your whole arm to write rather than just your wrist. So you were given these little states, and you know, she's like, okay, why don't you try to write? Kind of zoned out for a minute. And when I came back, looked down at what I had written the word Beth, and it was in like the perfect Palmer method technique. That I've tried to recreate that since then, and I've never been able to do it. So that, and I showed it to my husband. My husband made a joke, maybe that's a past life. And so now that you just mentioned it, it kind of clicked.
That's
very
cool.
And that's a perfect example.
That's a great example. High five for that example.
Yeah, that's a great example. I can actually sometimes tell too, like I can hear the difference in the sound of the voice. Like I can tell if it's like Syrian energy or Sasani energy, or if it's my guides, or is it more angelic in nature? Is it more, it's interesting how you're able to discern. And I even said to Alicia the other night when I was getting ready, when we were talking about this, I said, it's funny because when I'm channeling, I said, sometimes I can't read my own writing. And I said, I would have to transcribe, rewrite it again just so I could read it legibly, because I have the same problem with my handwriting, how it changes, and especially if I'm trying to hurry, and I mean not hurry, if I'm trying to keep up with, when I'm trying to really write fast and try to keep up what they're saying so I don't lose the message.
Exactly. And she was just talking about what did she say? She said that made her suspect she was channeling. And so I just wanted to ask that a simple way to get an idea if you're channeling or not is there's a certain way that I write. There's certain words that I use. There's certain ways I put my sentences together. But if I'm channeling, that energy has their own way of putting their sentences together and their own words that, like this one channeling, they were telling me my style was, and they gave me a name of come up with. That's another easy way to try and tell if you are channeling.
I agree. I was going back and forth too, looking to see. I wanted to say something about too that there, you know, we really don't conceive the information that we are capable of hearing. Like, for example, so many things, I think many of us, even those of us who are out here on YouTube doing this stuff, and there's so many things I don't share because some of it, it's like when you hear a being, and I don't want to say putting me in my place, but when I say putting me in my place, what I mean by that is when it's telling me things about what it is that I'm here to do and who I am and who I've been, it's very there. When you are being asked to step into your sovereignty and you're writing this stuff down, sometimes it's hard to share it, because then you think, who am I to say that I am that? But the thing is this is what the hell we're supposed to be here doing, is learning that you are all that. That yes, you can connect to anything and anybody. And the information that's coming through, I have even had, like, say, for example, the sun telling me information, the moon, Jupiter, star systems. So, and then you think, how can I possibly share this with the public? They're going to think I'm absolutely out of my mind. So, you know what I mean? So you're like,
well,
so
remember that first night where the Michael thing came out, and you and I were like, after the broadcast, we were like, well, it's out there now. It can either go well or not go well, but we're going to send our good
vibes out there, right? And that's funny. Miss Snow says, interesting. My grandmother was a teacher and started teaching in a one-room schoolhouse. And you know, it's interesting. I swear to God, I also have lived a life where I was a teacher. I've been a teacher in many, many, many lifetimes of all different kinds of things, as you guys, I'm sure, can imagine. But I also was a teacher in a one-room schoolhouse. In a, now when I say was, let's come back to what we all know. I am.
You are. And
simultaneously, we can call it the 1800s, but it's a frequency of a way of life that represents what we call the 1800s. But guys, you can bebop over there anytime you want.
Yeah, that is a true story. And I was wondering, in my current experience, in a 1904 one-room schoolhouse back in like, so I was gonna this how people, like, if they prove they want to light a little bit, right? So she said that she carries around in glasses, and she tells people that if they feel that she's too bright for them, that they can put on shades. That's so, you know, I'm trying. You should be bright too. Don't. What did Michael say? Let them change who you. I don't know how he worded it. Something about don't let them change who you are or something. I can't remember.
Exactly. Yeah, right. Well, and it's funny because they will tell me things that make me cry, because it's stuff that I know I should really feel and believe about myself. But when you hear it, it's like, it's so humbling, and yet it's hard to explain. But yet this is part of this is what the movement is, if you will. Why we do these gatherings is because we're supposed to be opening up our heart chakras. We're supposed to be opening up to each other and communicating and learning to be open with our love and our expressions. And I remember back on 9/11/2015, what I wrote on that day, and I even wrote 9 + 1 + 1 = 11. I am the Galactic Center. I am the Galactic Christ Consciousness. I am the Trinity. I am the Trinary. I am the body, mind, and spirit. I am one with y'all. I am a beacon, living light. Activate for your inner sun. The diamond light codes of creation to ground, center, and ascend. And then I wrote, and this I have no idea. I wrote a string of a bunch of numbers that I have no idea what they represent now. And it says 144 aspects of multi-universal aspects. I don't know, something about now it's the New Earth template. Allow the infinite flow of energy from my root chakra through. I am a beacon that the light of creation shines through. I am an energy star bursting its love into brilliance, to burn forth and burn into infinity from the eternal flame to the eternal flame. I am the light of all stars and a star of all that is light. I am the sun of every star and the star of every sun. I am the living light of love. I am you. You are the flame. We each feed and are fed from the eternal sun, the galactic center. I breathe my light of love into the flame of all that I am, and it breathes the life of light into me. I am the breath of all that is. I am you. You are me. And together we are eternity. We are the timeless living lights. We gather here in the harmony of light. We gather here with you in the state of vibration of harmony. You lay the stones for the path of others to step upon, to lighten their journey for understanding, lighten their journey of understanding, that their path be lighter than it was before they knew their own light, that the power that lies within them, the only true treasure that they had been seeking all along, their own light. Show another their own light, and they will light that of another. That is your mission. Your mission is great, but you are greater and greater for it. You are the harmonic symphony of the song of the light of all that is. Now, I don't think I would normally say something like that to myself, but that's how that kind of stuff gets conveyed from our higher selves, who want us to remind ourselves who we actually are and why it is that we decided to come together on 9/11/2018 as time we create time. So, and stuff like this, I mean, like I said, I mean, I've got just books of this kind of stuff, and some of it's even more profound than that, about actual information that's, and how it's conveyed through light codes and light languages and music and the stars and the sunlight and just stuff like that, you know.
Wendy, check this out.
I don't see your camera's not on. Are you on? Are you muted?
Wendy, can you hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Okay. That was
Oh, I keep losing. You're breaking up. I keep losing you. I don't know if it's me or I'm my end or yours. I'm not sure.
Can you hear me out there? Can you guys hear me out there? Is that cool? Kind of, sort of, not really.
It's just a little broken.
Okay.
Like,
let me talk really slow.
Yeah, go ahead. Now I hear you good. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is why I think there was just a surge of energy. So while you were talking about that, you were talking about the stars and the light, and I was thinking back to my higher self portrait, and all of a sudden the word Elohim was spoken in my head. Is this crazy or what?
Okay, what the heck is okay, you are freaking me out, girl, because the very first channeling that ever came through to me was the Elohim, and that's what they said to me. We are the Elohim. You are Ileana. We are Ileana, the mirror of God. We are the Elohim, and you are. And I'm like, what's the Elohim?
So you got that part, because I wrote that to you in chat. In our chat, because I was thinking this is an Elohim message, and then Lonnie takes the computer and pulls it, and she's like, "Oh, did you just write that? Because that's just what I heard." And I was like,
"Oh
what?
No!"
Yes, true. And then we tried to get the message to you, and then it was like,
okay, that's too weird. Oh, now I see it. You're like, I think this relates to the Elohim. Lonnie just thought that too.
Wow. I'm kind of speechless.
High five! See, that's channeling, guys. That's channeling right there.
And no, seriously. Oh, where is it? I got to find it. Now, one day, a lot of this stuff comes through to me, and I'm like, sometimes I'm like excited, sometimes I'm crying, sometimes I'm like, and one day, oh, where is it? Oh, where is it? It was like, oh, these are cool. Oh, you guys will like these here.
That is very cool. Actually,
oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that kind of reminds me of the new cards that you and I got, but they're a little different.
Oh my God. I forgot all about that. I got another new deck. I'm so excited. I know everyone's like, you guys gonna pull some cards? We're gonna be here all night.
We can pull cards. Do you guys?
I mean, I mostly wanted to talk about the automatic writing, but
because we can talk to 333.
That's funny. Okay. Yeah, we could do that. But what was weird? I wanted to tell you guys one thing that came through. I was trying to find it really quick, but one day, all that came through one night is a bunch of just ones and zeros. It was like one full big giant sheet filled, one of these big sheets filled with just ones and zeros, just binaries. And I'm like, what the, so I'm thinking, what does all this mean? And even this stuff, all these symbols, I can't even be certain. I mean, sometimes I can sort of get a feeling for, who it is but not most of the time. I really don't. I'm just,
that's really cool.
There's just many different kinds, and some of them are like, they'll come to me and like this one, oh my God, this felt so high dimensional when it came in. I was all excited and like, because they were like really soft.
Oh,
and
wow.
They were like really lovey and really flowy. And they were like, yeah, we're like from, I forget which, like, I don't know what to mention. I'm just like, wow, you guys are so beautiful. So that's what I mean. It's just like you become, I don't know. Well, I do anyway. That's my experience.
See, yours are a little bit neater than mine.
Oh,
mine are.
Believe me, I got some messy stuff.
Okay, you were talking to Wendy. This is Nora. I don't know if you can, we have a house full.
Hi, Nora.
It is. It's like a commune.
Make sure you let everybody know they're broadcasting live on YouTube just in case they don't want to see their face. She's like, what? See, I told you. She's like,
oh, that was really funny.
What?
Yeah, we can pull some cards. So if you guys have any specific questions,
so I mean, I think we've kind of covered the gamut. I mean, I'm sure you guys don't want to sit and listen to us recite all of our personal stuff, but the point is that it opens up these channels and it actually helps in all these other areas. And I actually use, now that I do these galactic symbols, I'm able to use them in private sessions to like almost like tune into somebody and say, okay, these are the symbols that are coming to me that I'm being told will help you in some way, shape, or form to help whatever it is, illuminate, activate, open the channel for whatever it is that you're intending for that moment, that day, that session, that kind of thing. So I find it very profound. And as we know, our speech is extremely powerful. Well, we know that writing is too. But anyway, one of the other things that we love to do. Oh, go ahead, Doll. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I was thinking about because remember how I said I really like how you have separate journals or separate books for things, where a lot of mine just get piled together and then I have to try and remember what color it was, the journal, if I need to try and find something. But I guess I do have a dollar store from BTW.
There you go. See? Awesome. My dollar journals.
But this is all the downloaded information for videos that may happen at some time.
Oh my God. I have a separate book for those too, of all video, just ideas for my YouTube channel.
Yep, it's important.
It's important. And every now and then I'll go back and look at the list and go, oh my God, but there's so many other things I want to talk about today. Maybe I'll get to that another day.
I know. We could just keep this going.
Krista says, so Krista says, let's pull cards. She says, say it like you're a pirate. Aye, mateys, let's pull some cards. I played a pirate on Halloween one time or two or three.
Mine's gonna come out like all Irish, maybe, or something. I don't know.
You know, that's really weird.
We should pull some cards.
Oh my God. That's so weird. You said that the other day. I got a channeling of a woman, and she came through in Irish brogue, and I'm like, I love your accent. I was like, I want to say it, but I can't say it like she does. Okay, so I wanted to find my new one. There's no way. I got.
Okay.
No.
What can we do to help someone who has just opened up the telepathic? Wait. What can we do to help someone who just opened up to the telepathic light languages?
Oh, what can we? Okay. All right.
Well,
All right. Wait. All right. So let's just, since this is one of our highest excitements, let's start with this, Alicia, before we pull cards. We'll kind of, let's do a light language blessing. And so the answer is you're going to get a light language activation.
You're going to get 2 light language activations.
Okay. So, all right. So that's the answer. So someone who's new and just opening up, they're telepathic, wanting to do light languages. The more you listen to people, that's how I started. I started listening to Vanessa Lamarte, Wendy Kennedy. I was trying to remember a bunch of the other ones. There's so many. Krista was another person that's been part of my growth process and my awakening ascending process. So thank you, sister, for being there, being around and being in the chat with us today. But I started listening to other light languages, and I started feeling the emotions that, and just more and more would start to open. And then I just started, and that was really kind of like the faucet, that started opening up all this other stuff too. So
I would agree with that. I think, and for me, I think, especially because what did she say? She said, especially when they're not sure what's really happening to them. So I think
that's how it was for me. Even though I had been listening to them, the moment I started speaking, though, I still felt like everybody else, even though I still didn't really know, okay, well, I'm excited about this. This is exciting me more than anything ever in my whole life. And I don't know why I'm feeling this love and this bliss and this connection to my guides, but for some reason I know I'm supposed to share this, and I don't know why, but I have this now that I've learned how to do this thing. Now I'm getting this urge to share it with everybody. And I started to understand that it was illuminating, it was activating, it helps people it opens them up to their self-healing. It helps them open up to their guides. It helps them open up to their galactic selves. And so I started understanding all of this stuff. And so I would say the more you listen to it, the more you're open to it. And all of a sudden, I mean, Alicia and I don't even know if we can count how many different kinds of dialects and different languages we can do. I don't really know. And I don't always know where they're from. And to think about it, you guys, how could we possibly? We're so human that we need to categorize and well, it's got to be the Pleiades, it's got to be this, it's got to be Lyrans, it's got to be Orion, it's got to be the Syrians, it's got to be. But you know what? There's are so star systems and planets and realms and races and and I mean, I'm connected to the elementals and you name it. It's so infinite that I can be speaking languages and do maybe 5 or 6 different ones, and probably, but I could be connecting to billions of beings for all I know. I think. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I just don't always know.
Yeah, I was going to say, so from my understanding, the process of light language comes first as a download. Once you have that download, eventually you'll start hearing it being spoken in your head or putting words together in your head. And then from there, once yourself becomes comfortable with that, then you'll feel like it's just talking it out a little bit. And like I said, I first started talking it out second time around in the shower, and then I think the
shower is a good conductor, you guys. In the water, really good.
We even had company over, like company that know me. So I went downstairs and I said, listen to this. Does this sound like an alien language? And they're like, no, we think you're crazy. But that didn't deter me. I was just like, well, you know, you're not on my vibration. It's cool, whatever.
Hey,
Like,
my family, there's a bunch of my family that still doesn't know I speak light languages because they just,
mine doesn't.
They wouldn't get it.
But that's okay.
I mean, for now, it's and I don't even know that they would even think, who knows what they would think. But for now, I'm just getting the vibe that it's not the time. And so that's fine. And here I am 4 years later speaking these light languages, and you're going to vibrate to the people that you resonate with.
Exactly. You know? And so you will find people that resonate with you and that you're able to talk to them. You can always message, you know, stop on over at Temple Beautiful, send us a message, and we can always talk. I'm more than happy to walk you through it. Wendy takes sessions.
That's what I do. I do private sessions. I help people. I do and I like doing this stuff. You know, this is why we do this light live stuff too. So, to help, you know, so I hope that answers the question a little bit, as far as because even with me, even now, I still ask myself, well, how else can I serve, you know, the public, all that is myself, my body. I spent all day outside potting plants, you know, repotting plants and stuff. I speak light languages to my plants. I see the difference in them. I speak it to my water, my food. I speak it to everything in the grocery store. I send it out to Gaia. I send it, you know, if there's wildfires, I send it out to the wildfires. I send it out to the ocean. I send it out to the pollution.
Just remember, you guys, when you can go to a grocery store and talk to somebody. Like if I was talking to Wendy, talking to Wendy, and I was talking light language, nobody would know the difference. They would know. They
would just think it was just another another Earth language.
So when you'll like when you become comfortable in that, like you'll have processed through the steps, and then you'll get more languages, coming in.
Actually, Miss Nosa, there's new people opening up all the time, and they don't always know what's happening to them, and that's exactly why I started this channel, because the Emissaries, the Light Collective, came to me one day when I had started speaking, and they said, you know, this is something you've agreed to do. We feel that you're ready. Are you ready to start putting it out there to the world and start videotaping? And I wasn't ready to be in front of the camera yet. I was still nobody knew. My husband didn't know. My family didn't know. I had a YouTube channel for a whole year before even my own partner knew. So that's how drawn, and I needed to do it, and it didn't matter who knew it. So anyway, and that's when they said to me, it's about the light codes. It's about the languages. We want you to just speak the languages while you're looking at nature, bringing in the light codes from the sun and the trees and the sky. And they said to me, the information will come. I think my very first video was in 2015, January 2015. And I think it was maybe 2 or 3 minutes long. And it was like, Anita Shanakito. I was so scared. I was just like, you know, but now, so at any rate, if that helps answer the questions a little bit, but even today I say, you know, I ask my guides every day, what should I do with these? How more can I share? And they said, just like everything else, follow your excitement as far as you can take it until you can take it no further. And don't expect or try to figure out where it's going to go, what's going to happen. Just do it, and you will begin to know. And believe me, every single time someone comments on a video, that's my answer. Every single day when I read these comments from people, now I know this is why I do it. And so that's what it's about. And so I think that's why we're like people like Alicia and I are so delighted to just do it and help people come out of their shells. And that's one of the things I love doing on my channel, is having people on who for the very first time have either never spoken them, want to speak them, want to get activated, or who already speak them, who want to do this for the world, who want to start their own channel, but they're too afraid. They're too afraid to get behind the camera. They're too afraid to speak languages. They're too afraid what people are going to think, or they're too afraid people are going to find them that don't understand. Let me tell you, you guys, There's not one person in my family who's found my channel yet because they're not in my frequency.
Exactly.
I'm living, here I am, as I've said many times, hiding in plain sight. So out in the world to the public on all of the social media, but they're just, so the only people that are going to find each other is our soul family, the people that are resonating with our frequency. So, and you wouldn't be here yet today, all of you, any of you, if we weren't all in the same soul family, having similar experiences, just wanting to understand and connect and figure out how is all this connected and how are these symbols and numbers and numerology and energies and planets and oracle cards all connected, you know, to us and our light bodies and all that. So
Over there.
Na shukota ya lono te atako, boigi data how ono guli to pushi ti dana. Musiti ataku, bilika one atata, hana siati, ono, niapiato, kaliata ono, the cashu humiata wa, nubia, luduya, honiatia. Nisia tata, what tia tata, totonia, tatia totia, totoya, tatia, tototia, 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 tata, ukotia, totololonia, tototia, tatana, hashia, toto, bushikata, haina, teato, ona hatia, tata, tatia, corona, tata, ho, shikia, liakona, tata. Opia tata ni atokuniha, mosiati tatayano totuya tata, nasia kole tatana hiatata, koposia tatana, nasia toto, mosia tatana, namaste.
Nishakiana, Sotoshamira, no Kolapalakianta Sonakilata Sesea. Sonokolianta Sasabaliana Kolika Sharakala Sheda, Senakilianta Sonakela Hanteshe, Somadianda Sanikila Satosamaroko Korashanasete, Selianta Soma Oruko Shanakilianta Samarikia, Apora Shanea. Lahila Koniana Satolikia Sotosote, Shonokoliankia Sotosanakila Kikia Sotose, Lahila Koniana Moloko Shotekea, Otela. Lahina kalia sotosonake, shote sotsoma li kaki, no tera shanate la sote. Naya sanashea hinaya ku. Mihala sinaya hi. Ninaya susola shaya, nela senasi shunahi. Misana koleanta sonotosha ila se, sonokora kakianate, sokurishona koleanta sopora, shate, sati, sonoli ina satakala. Sota shonokole, la shinokolinki, sanatelisi, somote she sanakala. I wanted to just share with you really quick that as I'm speaking, I'm getting, once again, as I often do with Alicia, is I was remembering some of our Egyptian timelines together and some things that I've recently learned through Bashar and some events I've recently watched some, downloaded, bought some of his new events and was watching them. And I was thinking about her the other day and just about timelines and the beginnings of us and humans. It was actually the five. It was actually the 5 hybrid races. That's what I was watching. I was watching the 5 hybrid races. You can download it from Bashar Communications, and so Bashar just happens to be one of the very first channelers I ever found. And so, and then it was just, I mean, I started finding everybody because I couldn't find them fast enough, and each one of them was an absolute instrument for me in my all of this. So and I remember when I first met Alicia and I very first saw these visions of timelines, and I said, you and I are going to be doing work together. We're going to be doing like videos and then so far, I mean, now she's hosting and doing live stuff, and she's got her own, you know, YouTube channel, and plus she's also a very successful business owner in the 3D world. And so there's all kinds of layers to all that we are, but I believe that every single bit of that is a light language. But I remember when I first met her, and I just knew that we were going to be like, I saw like this day, because, you know, everything's now, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
I was just deciding. I was like, okay, which one do I want? Which one?
And I was going to say, like,
I
because we're
still.
talking about.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, so I was going to say we're talking about like channels and downloads and stuff. Well, speaking the language to your products or speaking language to your plants, it's the same thing. It's a download. It's a download of energy. And so you're like in our Apothecary, we're able to change the molecular structure of like the healing methods, and we can put extra love in there and through this light language. So it's so multifaceted, you know, light language and glass.
I send it to my body. Yeah. I send it to my teeth and my gums and my eyes and my, you know, I mean, I send it to I send love to my body. I send, you know, through the light languages too. It's so multifaceted that I truly believe we have only barely begun to touch the surface of the power that this has. And as I'm getting downloads all the time about, as I alchemize the languages with all these other things, whether it's the singing bowls or the oracle cards, or doing them in, you know, out in nature, and whatever it is, it's an alchemization for all of us to change our molecular structure into a higher frequency being, a different version of the being that we were a moment before. I truly believe that. And
we are all alchemists. It's not just like Wendy over there, me over here working the Apothecary being alchemist. We're all alchemists. You just have to remember. You have to remember how wonderful you are, and that you already have the keys and the codes, and you know, you just have to unlock it.
I have to laugh about that keys and codes because so I wanted to say happy birthday. I got this little birthday thing. So I want to say happy birthday today to anybody whose birthday it is, or if this is your birth month or whatever, or your sun sign, because I have a family member who has a birthday today, and he, ever since 9/11, 2001, refuses to celebrate his birthday on today. And, you know, I realized something the other day, and I told him, I said, do you realize that you were born on 9/11, which equals 11? That's a master number. And I also added up the year really quick in my mind to him. And I said, and guess what? The year you were born also equals 11. I said, so will you please start celebrating who you are? I said, because you chose that day on purpose. So I just wanted to mention that. I don't know why I wanted to mention that, but the funny thing is that among all of my things, one of the things that I started collecting many, many years ago were keys. So I have like this bin full of all these keys, because I kept being told by my guides that I hold the keys. I hold the keys of wisdom. I hold the key, you know. Now I didn't know I had no idea what any of that meant. Now like I said, I've been doing this for many years. I've got boxes full of keys, keys. So, and they're all different cool kinds and old ones. And because I've always believed that each one of us, this one's really cool because it's got galactic symbols on it too. I got this really many years ago from a psychic. And little did I know back then that I would be writing galactic symbols, and that I would understand my connections to my other timelines and to my Egyptian selves and to all of those entities. I even have my Egyptian women musical lady brace or necklace on tonight. So because that's another thing that Alicia and I've, you know, discovered in our travels together, is our connection to each other, you know, those timelines, you know.
Somebody in the chat asked if I have channeled the Hathors before. I'm very connected to the Hathors. I've channeled them a few times, but I've had a lot of past experiences. And
yes, I have as well.
And actually, go ahead. Temple Beautiful, you guys may not know, Temple Hathor, the Hathorian temple, is another name for Temple Beautiful. So
and isn't that funny that they tuned into that energy for you and asked if you ever channeled the Hathors, because I was visualizing you and I when you were speaking. I didn't get to that point earlier. I saw us speaking also in the temples and in the pyramids and in our Egyptian timelines, and we were actually doing basically the work that we're doing now, but we're doing it in that timeline in a different manner and with different, you know, with different crystals and different things, but we were doing. And so as you were speaking, I was seeing you doing that work, And it's interesting that that was interesting that they asked about the Hathor, because if you guys aren't familiar with the Hathors, they're also known for their sound healing, and they're helping humanity. And the Hathors actually look like that ancient Egyptian, kind of, tomb sort of look kind of thing. And the Hathors, in my experiences, in my own telepathic experiences, they're huge. I mean, we're talking 30 or 40 feet tall. Yeah. When I'm visualizing them when their energy comes near me, they're taller than my house even. I mean, that's how they feel to me, and they, remember, Sarah, toning the Hathors. And so many of my friends, actually, I've got some friends who tone. Michelle's another one, Michelle Euro, she tones, and I hear the Hathors coming through. And so very interesting that I asked about the Hathors, because the Hathors are some of the ones that set the tone, if you will, for the frequency, for actually allowing higher telepathic connections, where many of us would connect together, in the tones, and literally be, singing the tones together and creating a frequency where people could travel back and forth, where we could have telepathic connections. I lost Alicia again. So that's, one of the reasons why, oh, there she is. That's one of the reasons why we like to share this stuff, because it helps other people understand that the stuff you guys are getting is important information, even if it's just a name. I've had names come through. Maha, Kana, Katora, Katora. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I started writing down all these names, and I don't know. So it's funny too. I bought this new Mayan Oracle deck, but I'm not going to be able to pull any cards from this tonight, because I haven't even had a chance to, I've played with it. I've touched the cards. I'm familiar, but I'm still not familiar enough with how to read them. So we'll do these another day. But I got this other really awesome deck today too that I want to share with everybody. Alicia keeps popping in and out, so I'm going to wait. If she's there, I'm going to let you do a card, girl, while you're there.
I'm here for the second that.
Go ahead. Go, go, go.
Okay. Oh, so I pulled these two. There. I pulled these two. We'll just go with the first one. They both come to 8. So I have to look at those. So 35, the miracle. We are the miracle of one. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Nice.
And then I can look them up too while you're one. This one, dun dun dun, the Crystal Temple.
Perfect. See, we're talking now tonight. That's exactly what I was picturing.
Yep, and it says, "Home is where the heart is." And so,
and of course, I have one of those hanging in my house somewhere. It says, "Home is where the heart is."
Funny thing. So, because see, this is stuff that I wouldn't share. Why would I share this? But I'm gonna share this because it happened while we were on video. So, while you were talking and you were singing, guess who popped in? And I told Lonnie, I said, Michael's here, and she's like, where is he? And I was like, he's over there. And he was really grin, really enjoying your singing. And then, see, now we froze again.
No, I still hear you. Keep going. I still see you.
So I pulled some cards, and whenever I pull cards, and I'm like, hey, Michael, give me a card. This is the one that he always pulls, and so this was the first one to come out. So I disregarded it because that's his card.
It is. It actually almost reminds me of him.
I know, right? And the whole thing about this is passing through past pain, which is wow. We don't really work on it too much because we're more of a brother-sister type relationship, but we still work on it a little bit, but that's he's working on it. And so I just found that really funny that
I'm glad you mentioned that, because something that I wanted to share just a little bit too about one of the reasons I connected to him as a child, because I've been around as long as he was, so when he first started performing, I connected him right away, and somehow I felt this really weird magnetic pull connection, and I knew all my life somehow I was connected. But I wanted to say that so many of us who are telepathic, where we feel other people, and whether they're celebrities or not, we have to understand we're all part of soul families. We're all connected to everything. There is no reason why we're all connected to different things, and we connect to different people in the public eye for specific reasons. And so, because we're in that energy. But one of the things that I always was able to feel was the person behind the celebrity, the real deal, the person who was in pain behind, these are perfect. He's just one of many examples, but I'm referring more to people who are suffering from depression, and because he felt so unloved, and yet look at how he was adored, and how many of us feel so unloved, and yet we don't perceive how much we're adored, and we don't see our own self-love. And this was a perfect example of a man who lived his whole life not seeing how much he had billions and billions of dollars and and people who loved him, and yet never really ever felt loved and accepted unconditionally. And that's a huge message, because that's one of the biggest messages for getting together in these kind of gatherings, is for all of us to remind each other, we're all here. It doesn't matter what you do for a living, or whether you're, a famous person or not, or, some of the most miserable human beings on the planet have every possible physical abundance. It's not about that. It's about this and these connections. So that's why I just wanted to, because it was a comment about thanking us for sharing these, this time, because this is why we do it, because we are very multifaceted beings. So anyway, go for it, girl. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I wanted to, I sent Mimi a thing on the thing, because she said that she has a connection to Beethoven and the last Tsar of Russia, and that she was a student of, I'm horrible with Russian names, Klavatsky.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yep, I see it. Yeah, Kabalevsky.
And I also have a connection to the Tsar. We don't talk about it, but that's really cool. You could pick that up. That's cool. You could pick that up. And the whole Beethoven thing.
She was able to pick up on that. That's really neat.
Yeah.
See what I mean, you guys, how we start to hang out with each other. We start to pick up.
Yeah. And that's exactly that.
5.
Okay, I think we're back.
There you are. You're back. You weren't frozen.
Okay.
You weren't frozen for me, so you're fine.
Well, you know what I did not do before this hangout, which I normally do? I normally have time to sit for a minute. I call in my teams, my guides, and ask them for their help with their energy. So
well, let's just do that now. As a matter of fact, I got my
because this is what happens if I don't. I have so many people around all the time, not just humans.
That's right.
Humans, but so many people around all the time, and so many energies that I always have a hard time with technology. Always.
Yeah, I know. I do too. Almost I have to keep my wand with me and everything, because the energy is so blood high.
All right.
You there, darling? Oh no. Maybe not.
Okay, I put the big help out. So hopefully things will be a little bit better now. Okay, so what I wanted to read about, because I should probably read a little bit about these cards, which is from the Crystal Temple. This is an Atlantean card, and I actually used to work in one of my Atlantean experiences in the Crystal Temple. But this talks to you about the purpose to allow you the opportunity to return home. And what they're talking about is the home inside you, the you who you really are. That is what they're talking about. So here they say, crystals as high as the sky, the crystal temples of Atlantis were tremendously overwhelming in size, with piers that seemed to reach to the sky. Each temple was designed and engineered with precision and great accuracy, and included astrological alignments to all around forces. Can you remember visiting the great temples? They're calling get stronger and stronger day by day. The message may be for you to go back to the basics, live more organically, learn ancient practices, hint, 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 and let go of the drama and confusion of the modern world. Do not deny this conscious calling, as it will stalk you more over time. It is initiated by your spirit's need to return to a place within you that feels like home. Unfortunately, many of us are caught up in the busyness of life, and we forget about our true heart's calling. Wait, that's what Michael said. That's what Michael said. He said, don't.
That's what he said.
Yes.
Okay, now tell me Michael's not sitting there, you guys.
No, he is. He's chilling.
I know. That's what I mean. That's like confirmation 101.
He's chilling. Okay, so today I listen to the calling and do what you are guided to do. Don't be practicing a simpler life or practicing light language in the shower. You know, it all works. That's beautiful. All right, and then this one we'll read real quick, The Miracle, which this is kind of home for me because my higher self had a message about just being connected to God and wanting to I don't remember, but it was all about like God and Yeshua and like that whole bloodline type of thing. So this is kind of near and dear to my heart. But it says the card has been chosen for your soul today with purpose, on a purpose to remind you, I am a miracle. You are a miracle. We are all a miracle of one. I can just hear Michael saying, hear the word. Miracles are often depicted in biblical terms, and yet the true definition of a miracle simply means something wonderful. So it's a miracle today because we did something wonderful. We met, we talked light language, we talked all about our channeling. That was a miracle, something wonderful. Miraculous opportunities present itself in many forms, from life-saving events to humble moments in our day-to-day life. Do you know the miracles are making their way into your life right now? Are we still running? I can't believe this. Oh, yeah, we are. Okay. You are encouraged to believe in miracles again so that the idea of something wonderful is about to happen. By entertaining the thought of miracles entering your life immediately, you are likewise encouraging this miracle energy in those who have a direction and connection to you as well. So, if you still have confusion about your life's calling, today is the perfect time to use this miracle energy to bring clarity. Remembering, too, that the law of purpose always brings with it a strong desire to be of service to the planet, and in some way or another. So I strongly suggest you select a clear quartz crystal to simply remind you of the truth that you are a miracle.
Woohoo! Yeah, that is perfect. That's right, you guys. Prepare to transform.
And red. See, somebody was saying that red, they were seeing a lot of red. And so this one is.
And there you got blue. Isn't that interesting? So you got the red of the root chakra and the blue of the throat chakra.
You have red.
I'm sitting right there.
That's funny. And you're red. She's got red. She's got blue. I've got like everything. I'm the rainbow today. But I was feeling this really kind of turquoise blue energy, heart chakra, throat chakra energy all day long. I was feeling that energy. So very, very wonderful. Oh, well, and because I was doing this tonight too. So
that's awesome. Yay! Miracles.
So remember, that message too reminds us all, today equals 13. It's about transformation. And I mean, this is what we do, why we do these things together. I mean, this is not just why we do this, but I mean, why we do this together. We're all stepping up to say, I want to transform into something that I know I am more, and I don't even know what that is or how am I supposed to get there or what all of this actually means. And instead of trying to figure it out, we have to remind ourselves we're asking for this energetically, and now we're getting the information. So these are our answers.
Just like my channeling said about taking the time to let it process. when you need downtime with all the channelings and all the information, take it.
And I haven't written my journal in a long time. I meant to tell you how synchronistic that was, that you and I ended up doing this today, because I've been feeling a little bit kind of like bad in a way, like because I haven't been writing in my journal as religiously or, as regularly as I typically do, because I've been in such a, almost that observer standpoint that I want to experience it rather than just taking the time to document it. But then I realize if I don't, even I forget day to day, like, oh my God, I had the most amazing channeling yesterday. And honest to Pete, I can't remember a single bit of it, like none of it. But I remember it was so profound, but I realized it became a part of me, even if I don't actually remember, and I didn't write it down. But so it was just kind of funny that I've been feeling bad about not writing in my journal, and how the writing that I have been doing has actually been stuff to give to other people. It's been about other people or for them or for the public, or I've been focusing my energy in that way, or for like when in private sessions, what information comes through telepathically, what symbols, what, and all that. So I've been spending more of my energy instead of, putting it down for myself. But then I'm like, oh man, I wish I could remember that, because it was really good. Oh, look what number 2, intuition.
Yes. Yay.
And 1 and 1 equals 2. So 11 energy.
11. Yep.
This is exactly what we're talking about today. Opening up our intuition.
Bam, Wendy.
And look, he's even wearing the ankh. And there's that door. Look at the door
behind him. Isn't he wearing a blue shirt?
A blue shirt.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Holding the ankh of all things. Oh, my God, you guys. I have an ankh right here. Where is it? It's on my... Anyway, it's here somewhere. I have an ankh right here.
Not that it
matters. It's actually... It looks like a crown.
It does look like something else on his
head. Well, it's interesting because there's a crown and an earring. So, but to be honest with you guys, I think it can go either way, and I think that's the way it
was meant to be. Yeah, yeah.
I do. I think that could really represent male, female, and anything else.
That's the door. That's the door.
That's the door. See the door, and you guys see the door in the back. So the door to the intuition.
Yep, that's the door you're supposed to open.
And that's what we're doing today. This is why we, gather, so that because we all want to open the door to our intuition. All the 3 decks that I chose, actually, it's kind of funny that I was guided to. The 3 of them all are numbered decks. They each have numbers on the cards. So isn't that interesting that that we're talking about writing and numbers, because symbols and numbers and automatic writing, some days I'll just sit and write numbers, and I don't know why. And it's just, you'll see people posting that too. Like, I have a friend, excuse me, who does that also. She gets all these like light code numbers and just strings of numbers. What is that?
It says home. The other one said home.
Oh my God. See what I'm saying? And isn't it when we're in our intuition?
The door, Wendy, there's the door to the
door. Oh, come on.
Look, there's the door to the intuition.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God.
There's fairies.
I just pulled number 18, which equals number 9. So we're in this 9 energy.
This is 9. Wendy, this is 9.
Oh my God. And you got 27 and I got, oh, come on. I embrace the element of air. And this is the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign. I embrace the element of air and am open to all knowledge and wisdom.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So through my intuition.
And I like the upside down triangle. That's like
look at the back of this, and look at the back of these cards, you guys.
Wow. That's beautiful.
I just love it because they got the stars, the planets, the Merkaba, the angel wings, the root, all the colors of the chakras.
That Wendy
got like
in the card.
tree root.
Wendy,
Man, I love this. Look how
that's that
what you
thing
got.
that guy was holding in that card, wasn't it?
This thing.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's like a. This is like a.
It's a little different.
He's like looking in a magic mirror or something like a. What is that?
It's like Stargate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a Stargate. He's looking in the Stargate. He's got the Ankh. Listen to your intuition, guys. That's what's good. It's going to come through. The information is going to come through. And the air elemental also is about the voice and the throat chakra. So we got that going on too. So this is about opening up.
Oh, and that's got the burden. That home has the burden.
And the knowledge and the wisdom. So your intuition is going to transform us in opening up our wisdom and knowledge. So go ahead, pull another one.
Okay, I have cleaning house. I don't.
Oh my God. You guys are not going to believe this. For the last 2 days, I've been dusting, cleaning, vacuuming, picking up rugs, cleaning, doing laundry. I have been repotting my plants. I rearranged my I know it's a mess right now because I just put all the stuff on it. I cleaned my whole altar off yesterday, took everything off, cleaned it all, put it all back on, rearranged it. And I put my signs
Wendy.
up here.
That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
You need
to.
My God. So what they're saying is you need to clean up the crap that doesn't suit you anymore, so you can open up with your intuition to find your real home. That's what they're saying.
And what number is that card?
37, 10.
So that equals 10, which is 1. So we got 11 energy. So, and I just hung these signs up here. One says believe and one says be grateful.
Yes.
So,
those will all bring you home.
Yes, all of them. All of that will bring you, and gratitude is the door. I'm telling you, gratitude is a huge door to information, knowledge, wisdom, love,
this little
self-love.
sign says welcome life.
Oh my God. And the symbol, would you say welcome life? And isn't that the symbol of the Ankh?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Oh, the other card fell. That's another thing I do too, is I speak languages when I'm, doing the cards. It's like
one of those.
What else? What else did you find in there?
Okay,
so,
wait, it's your turn.
This one, you guys. So this one is my brand new deck. It is the Sacred Geometry Activations deck. Here's the book. I have not even read the book at all. I have introduced myself to each one of these cards. I've light languaged them. I've blessed them. I've shuffled them. I gave, I've only had them for 2 days. I got them yesterday. And so I thought today would be a perfect day to pull the first card. I thought it'd be perfect to introduce this new deck because we're talking about, just symbols and numbers and writing and how it's all connected and you guys all know, if you've been watching me, how I feel about sacred geometry. Look at the back of the card, guys. Blue.
That's like the Stargate that the other guy had.
And it looks just like the Stargate.
That's really cool.
So the first one I pulled, integration, number 30. So we've got number 3. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. And we're just discussing the symphony, harmony, and look at that sacred geometry. And the solar plexus, it's the root chakra, solar plexus. I love it. Yep, we got the red, the yellow, the blue background, the sacred geometry, the number 3, the Merkaba again, and then the frequency of integration. And we were isn't the sun in Libra right now? Is it Libra? Is it Libra's birthday right now?
I am really bad at that.
I was just, I think it is. I mean, I think it just changed.
Maybe, wait, Cosmic Christie, is she out there?
Oh, yes, to say who's. The reason I said that is because it talks. I was thinking today about Libra, because Libra is the sign of the scales and balance, and so this is about us balancing our energy. The portals, the 1111 energy, is about becoming in perfect balance with and in a perfect harmony with our higher selves.
Yep. And having commitment to do it.
There you go. 13.
And I got 36.
Oh, you got number 3? That's funny because this one's 30 and that is 3 too. So very funny. 33. Oh, I got to take
this one. Has the stars and the key, which actually, if you look at still, and it just talks about like committing to cleaning up the house and committing to coming home and
you know, starting you guys. After all of these years, believe me, the last thing my least highest excitement is cleaning my house. But I will say that, and I'm a clean freak. I mean, I used to be a very picky clean freak. I mean, and so now I go with the flow. It's like, if I do it when I'm not in the mood to do it, it just, as we know, it changes everything. But all of a sudden it was like, it felt like my guides were saying to me, it's a new moon. It's a new beginning. It's time to clean up. It's time to, redo the altar, redo your space, clean up the space. I mean, literally dusting and vacuuming and cleaning and, just shaking out the rugs and, just all of that. And so very interesting that you pulled that card, because that's what new moons are about, making room for new beginnings, getting rid of the old stuff. I've got 3 more bags of clothes out there ready to donate, that just doesn't serve. And when we say doesn't serve, I wanted to reiterate what you said about not serving. A lot of, we talk about things about, well, what doesn't serve you? Guilt, shame, not loving yourself, feeling guilty about wanting to do what you want in your life when you want, feeling guilty because your house isn't clean when you'd rather be making videos. We've got to let go of all that, because the day will come when you feel really good about it. Your house is going to get clean. And just like Bashar just said, if you go about your business doing what you love moment by moment, as far as you can take it without expectation until you can take it no further, what doesn't get done at the end of the day, didn't it need to get done? And how many times have we ever even found out it never even needed, it never gets done? I've also started employing the 1-minute rule, because I'll say, okay, I want to do this thing that I don't really want to do, and I'll do it for 1 minute. And of course, we find out that after 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And I've actually found out too how much I can get done in 1 minute of something I really don't want to do. So zoom, I was like a white tornado.
And then I was gonna say also, it also means cleaning up the human, cleaning up the man and the who, so you can clean up your human. And
yes,
that's also what Miss Snow was talking about. Don't think in the inner house too, as far as ourselves. And yes, because absolutely, the inner house is our golden palace. We are the golden.
And our inner house is not talking about ourselves badly, not feeling bad about doing the things we want to do, not doing the things we love in our lives, not, continuing to do, the jobs, the relationships, and all that stuff that we don't want to do. Cleaning house is about getting your physical, mental, spiritual environment cleaned up. And we have that opportunity to get rid of stuff and complete stuff at the full moon in order to make room, for the new beginnings, because really it was the new moon. And we didn't really talk today about, that was one of the things I wanted, was coinciding with this day, was about the new moon and ushering the new beginnings and so forth. So yes, very, very coincidental that we would get that new beginnings, the cleaning our etherical selves too, of, what beliefs aren't serving me, meaning what do I believe? Why do I still feel guilty about that thing? Why do I still feel bad about that experience? Why do I still feel like I coulda, shoulda, woulda? This is a thorough cleaning also, because when we spend too much time in that energy, it just gunks up the works. You cannot flow. You can't think. You become paralyzed with thoughts that are not healthy, serving thoughts. What, you got another pull there?
Well, we did. We are to figure out, this is 23, and is a black. Or does it go there?
Oh, I can't. Okay, now you go. There, no. Now I can see you. I couldn't see you for a second. I don't know if you're frozen on my end or your end.
Oh, no. That's fine. We'll pick another.
Okay,
card.
now I can see. I can hear you now.
So I wanted to know what the symbol was for a new moon. Is it just a circle colored in?
Yeah, because it's basically it's the dark of the moon, so it'd be the no moon. Yeah.
So that's like just the start of a new moon, or the start of or the other way. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's actually right now too. There's even just a little right now. There's just a little sliver, with the. As a matter of fact, moonrise is. I think moonrise is probably right around now. Oh my God, you guys! Oh, what'd you get?
Oh, that's what Michael card was about.
Oh yeah.
Too. That's funny. I did. I put it away.
44 integration. I combine body, mind, and soul to lift all of humanity into a new dimension.
Yes. And there are the face of the moon, just like the other card had.
That. Oh my God. Look, we were just talking about the new moon. So we got the new moon, the phases of the moon. Look at all the guides and the higher self and the spirit guides.
Yeah. And
the 44. So we got the angel number. So the angels are definitely here, reminding us. Here we are talking about body, mind, and spirit, cleaning house, integration, using our intuition, embracing the element of air to open up the knowledge. Look, you guys, integration on this deck, integration on this deck.
That's
okay.
You can't make
freaking me out on both of them. Integration. Okay. Apparently, all of us needed to hear something about integration tonight.
Yeah. Knowledge. Okay. Wendy, look at this. And she's got that crescent moon. I saw it. Where did I see it? It's in there somewhere. And so this is Diana. Hi, Dana.
Hold it up a little longer while you talk, so your camera stays on.
She talks about having divine to help others on their path.
Oh, there you go. Go ahead. Say that again.
Like your guy had the crown.
It's the same spot.
I know. I give up.
You're funny.
No, okay, so
go for it. I was like, go. I can see it on camera though. I can see you on camera, so you're fine. I think it's just our connection, but the video's fine.
That I'm not in their teaching, so we need to. That's what we're here for. That's what we're doing. Even though we have things, we're just rolling with it.
Going with the flow, baby. Going with the flow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so I turn over the deck. Okay, today's 13 for transformation. I get number 31, magic. Now, I've never seen this deck other than yesterday. I've never seen this deck. So, number 31, magic. The frequency of magic supports our intrinsic ability to grow and expand beyond this moment, to move toward possibilities and expressions that are as grand and profound as we can imagine. All that is required is our belief in their manifestation.
Oh, that's so perfect.
Isn't that perfect? I mean,
Perfect.
integration, magic, 31, 13. We keep getting the number 3.
We had all kinds of threes.
I mean, lots of threes energies tonight. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, the 369 energy, the that whole divine, the divine sacred geometry, the integration of body, mind, and spirit. Then we get the integration card twice.
Oh, see, I have to turn my video on. Okay. I don't know how to pronounce her name though.
Irene.
Irene. So this is so weird. So here we have Irene. So we have the dolphins, Cirrus. We have that.
Oh,
We have the
yes.
water.
Serious energy.
Everything is working out beautifully. She kind of reminds me of like a Hathor priestess, also, just in like her garb.
Ah, there you go. Yep.
Yeah. I wonder who she's holding, because he's swaddled in purple. Purple is usually for like royalty or somebody important.
Well, yeah, because royalty, royal blue, royal purple.
Give your cares and worries to heaven. Pray, meditate, engage in peace-enhancing activities. Ready? Are you ready for this? Such as yoga, sea bath salts, massage, naps, music, playfulness. Naps. I'm quite a big fan of naps.
She is the napper. She's the napper.
I get some of my best messages, in that.
She's a napper.
I am.
That's hilarious. That's good.
But they're your yoga, and your music.
And I was checking, saw the messages too. Miss Snow says my close friend is a life path 33. I'm a life path number 11. My husband is a life path 33.
Magic and miracles.
And each of my children, I have 2 boys. Each one of theirs is their birth path. The numbers are both 3.
She reminds us to retain our childlike awe and enthusiasm for life. That's what.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You can see it here. Let me see if you can. Here. You see all my stuffed animals up there?
Pixely, kind of.
So I've got. Well, it's not all of them because
I see a horse, maybe, or a unicorn.
I've got the lion for the Lion's Gate. I've got the dog for the Year of the Dog for service to humanity, and I've got 2 different unicorns up there. So, and I've got a whole bunch of other little animals. I've got I got all kinds. I got Mickey Mouse, and I've got a little koala bear, and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's all about reminding us to, tap into the inner child, keep it fun. Your work is your play is your work. I always said all those years I was working for other people, and I envy you for that, Alicia, because you're doing what you love, and you have created a life and a business and a living out of doing what you love. And I spent 30 years doing not what I loved, and how many journals I can tell you I wrote in, you guys, year after year after year. Someday I'm going to be doing what I love. Someday I'm going to be working for someone else. Someday I'm not going to have to wake up and be under someone else's timetable, what they want, when they want it. And I am grateful every single day that I was able to manifest that and be able to do this every day. And you couldn't ask for anything better than that. Oh, I think we might have lost you for just a second. Keep going. Oh, I see you. I think I see you. It's interesting. I've been hearing about more solar activity, and I've been getting more downloads about solar activity and interference. So that's kind of funny.
Well, maybe that's what this is tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you could very well. And I was getting downloads about it, and then Brad Johnson did his weekly report, and he was talking about it. So I'm like, okay.
Because just as you were talking about that, we got a little thing up on the top of the screen that said we're temporarily experiencing difficulties in the connection or something.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
And we really are here to move into our heart chakra. That is what all the beings, I think, the relative theme for all beings, I think, that have come to Earth to help, that are not come to Earth, that are assisting Earth in this, is really helping us all, move into that heart center and being open with each other and not being afraid to share this stuff. And what do I pull but the heart chakra card?
Green. And that's the the Merkaba. Is that what I'm seeing?
Well, this one is actually you are correct. You are correct. It is the Merkaba. Look at that. Star David, basically. Yep. And
that reminds me of the thing in the grass?
Crop circle?
Crop circle. Because I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And just look at that too. I love how the green shines out, and how our, we shine when we're.
Remember, Wendy, how you said you were doing yoga and you got that heart chakra activation? See,
oh my God,
fits in together.
So many things. So many things happen to me when I'm doing yoga that I don't really expect, and I've actually had. I didn't post it to the public. I probably should one of these days. I just been too chicken. I did this video one day. I was doing yoga, and all of a sudden I hear this and it's like there was this song lyrics that started coming to me, but it was also light languages. So it was like English lyrics and light languages, and English and light language. So I was like, they're like, turn on the camera. And so I turn on the camera and I stand up, and I am literally like receiving the lyrics to this song, and I'm making it up as I'm saying. I mean, I'm like ad-libbing what I'm receiving and this lyrics to the song, and then it would go into light language and then back into the lyrics. And so I felt like there's more lyrics to be written for the song, like it's not complete. And I've only shared it with a couple of people because like close friends of mine, because I was still a little leery about sharing it, but it's interesting how some stuff just comes when you don't expect it.
So this is how it looks from our side. Have the picture up because I thought that might like save on bandwidth or whatever.
It does actually. If you turn your camera off, it does, but then I can't see the cards.
So we did that. I turned the voice up because you froze, and I pulled down the screen to look at the to look at the YouTube thing, and there we are, like looking like we're lost. Our faces are in the camera, like having these really confused looks on our faces. So
that's what the laughter was about.
I don't know. I apologize. I don't know. This is
one of the guys. Well, hopefully. I'm just hoping that I think the video will still flow. I think it's okay because I've had that happen where we've had interruptions, but yet when the video plays back, the playback is fine. So hopefully it'll be okay. Hopefully we'll be all right.
Like, are those two girls lost?
It's like, what are they doing? Are they are they talking? Are they freezing? What? Well, we should probably wrap up soon anyway, because I really. You know me, I said, I'll just set it up for an hour. That way, whoever wants to stay, they could just stay an hour. And well, here.
I do have this channeling, this long, it's a long channeling, but it was for the holiday, and now that we kind of have holidays right around the corner, I could read a little bit because it's really profound in what it talks about, if you guys are interested in hearing it.
Sure. Do you, how long you just got it? Is it just a few minutes, or read what you think, for a few minutes, and then yes.
Yeah, I'll just start reading a little bit of it.
Okay.
So this was in November 28th.
My birthday.
Happy birthday on November.
That's 28th. My birthday, 11/28.
So, and that's a 10, which is a 1. So maybe this is all meant to be.
And I'm a life path 11.
All right. So, it says, may the life force be with you. As many struggle with these new downloads, this is a turbulent time on Earth, and only through faith and realization that you are so much more than just human beings, but infinite and capable of so much love and magic. If you could apply yourselves and embrace what we are trying to help you, and embrace that we are trying to help you, and we have rules just like you, so we cannot do it for you, but we are here. These past few days, there are many updates, and you have to understand that your body processing the information, your cells and your DNA processing information, even if you are unaware, don't know how to process it for yourself. You accept that you are a light body and that your dormant is awakening, and you are turning to light, continue, and you can from the lower densities and frequencies. Change frequencies to a higher dimension, or higher, I think is what it's saying. Okay, so just because you are in high frequency now does not mean that wait. Hang on. Just because you are in a high frequency now does not mean that you have forth. So it's important to keep your thoughts high and your heart pure so that you do not go into lower frequency. And help, and let's see.
Uh-oh. I think we lost her. Hopefully she'll pop back in. Sorry, sweetie pie, we lost you there for a second. You dropped out. Yeah, and oh, there she is. She came back again. Well, at least I see her avatar. Yeah, and it could very well be the solar energy because, like I said, there was a couple of people have been talking about it, and I've been feeling it too. I'll wait and see if she comes back. I don't want to interrupt her or start reading something else if she comes back right away. Sono toshanakila inanana satasharake sana satashato. Minariki Elisa. Shonotori shanakila kinanakalikisa tosono se. So I was looking to see if I could find something else to read really quick that I had written. And this was actually back on 11/11/2015. Oh, she's back. There you are. Go ahead, sweetie.
You read all of that and nobody was not?
I read the whole thing.
Yep, we did. You completely dropped out, disappeared from the whole thing.
Wow.
It showed me that you did. That was really okay.
Unless now it could be, maybe somebody can tell us in the chat if they saw you or not. I didn't, and I did not hear you
at all.
So I was looking to see if they heard it or not. I was waiting to see somebody. Did you guys hear? Did you hear her? Or did she pop out? Because I saw your avatar completely dropped off, and I said, "Well, I think she
That's what happened to yours.
Okay, that's really weird. So who knows? I don't know. That's
it's a little crazy.
Dang it.
It was so.
I was gonna say I can hear you now, and then all of a sudden you started breaking up again. I was gonna say if you wanted, you can go back and start and go back to the beginning. Dang it! Oh yeah,
you know what?
They said all that they heard was like one sentence, and that's all I heard too. So thank you, Miss Snow, for letting us know.
Okay, it's on my channel. I will find the link and I'll post it in here for you guys.
Oh, that's a good idea. And I was going to say that too to you guys out in, YouTube land and all that, and who watch my channel. This really has encouraged me though. And I told Alicia that night that she and I talked about that this has actually encouraged me to get some of the stuff that I have written and, and recite it on my channel or whatever, reading it, putting it to a video or something, because, we receive this information, all of us, day after day, and really discount what we're getting. We don't see it as information from our guides. It's like, I love it when I'll have a session of people say like, well, I've been trying to connect and I don't hear anything. And then as we're talking, I'm like, well, that's information. Well, that's information. And people don't, I think that not they, you, we, all of us, me, also discount what we receive. And we don't even think of it as, oh, wait a minute, that really is an answer. Or even if it's something I'm writing, even if I write it today and it comes to fruition, that is my higher self talking. It's saying, this is what I desire. In this moment, I am in this frequency and this is what I desire, or this is what I'm receiving, or this is the words or names or information that I'm getting. And I'm seeing more and more people coming out and expressing this stuff on, live and on YouTube and Facebook and so forth, and going live and talking about their experiences. And like, it was really weird. I had some crazy dreams this morning, and they were like, I was experiencing myself like in that astral where I could do anything and have superpowers, and things were, and I was with people. I spend a lot of time in dream state with like you guys and teaching, and we're together. And so I was with a bunch of people yesterday. Plus I was also, I was like, it was like I was physically able to do things I know I normally can't do. And so, that's our real life. And this is we go to sleep. And when we wake up in the morning, we're actually going back into our dreamland where we forget we're really amazing, multidimensional beings that can connect to anything at any time. And we came here to forget, so we can get really excited again about remembering that we can do all of that. Are you back, darling?
We don't know.
We don't.
Okay, yeah, there you go. I'm like, yep, there she is. I can hear her. I see her avatar.
No, we don't know.
There she is. I'm like, I don't know if I'm there or not.
But it says that we're not.
It says we're not. So
well, you are. I can hear you, and I can see your avatar, but I can't see you.
It's probably it's okay.
It's okay. Like, it's okay. So
right.
Yes, Temple Beautiful. And I actually did put Alicia's Temple Beautiful website, her YouTube channel on the description in the event. But we'll put it in the comments section too. But you guys can just look it up, Temple Beautiful, and you can find her YouTube channel. And also she and I have done, if you're new to my channel, Alicia and I've done several other events together on my channel. We've done videos and live events, and she and I have been on Human Colony events live, and she's hosted for me when I've been channeling on there. So yeah, we've done lots of stuff together, but this has been very encouraging for me also to really put out there some of the stuff that I haven't shared up to this point, because people need to understand that, when you're getting this, you're getting stuff, you're getting information from your guides. And I've got names and spirit guide names and planetary names and all kinds of stuff, and some beautiful, beautiful, long channeled messages. But yeah, so I can hear you and see you really good now. If you want to read it, go ahead.
I'm afraid. No, okay, I'm not afraid. All right, let's I'll try it one more time. Because we won't know until we are finished.
Right, until you try.
All right. May the life force be with you. As many struggle with these new downloads, this is a turbulent time on Earth, and only through faith and realization that you are so much more than just human beings, but infinite and capable of so much love and magic. If you could apply yourselves and embrace that we are trying to help you and that we have rules just like you, we cannot do it for you, but we are here to help in every way we can. Are we good so far?
So far, so good.
All right. These past few days, there have been major uploads and major updates and downloads for many. And you have to understand that your body is processing that information. Your cells and DNA are processing the information, even if you are unawares or don't know how to process it yourself. But if you openly accept that you are receiving and becoming a light body, and that your dormant DNA is awaking, and you are crystalline as you continue this to be a normal human, to partake in normal human activities, normal human thoughts, normal 3D experiences will change as you transmute the lower dimensions and frequencies. So good? So far, so good? Okay. And just because you are in one frequency now does not mean that you cannot bounce back and forth. So it is important to keep your thoughts high and your heart pure so that you don't bounce back into lower frequencies. Treat and care for others as you would want to be treated and cared for. Show love and patience in all matters and realize that everyone is so different in their thought processes and where they are on their path that it is hard to judge if you have not walked in their shoes. Are we good?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good.
Remember, everybody is suffering through their own moment. Their excess joy may not be yours. Their love, thoughts, and desires may not be yours. But they are just like you in the fact that they are infinite beings made in the image of God. And so they are twins, even if they don't share the same heart. There can be many hearts, all focused on one mission, many thoughts, all in different outcomes, but with one similarity, the fellow love for your human beings, for your star sisters and your star brothers, compassion, understanding, and love. So the lesson today from all of your star brothers, star sisters, and family, and God as well, is that this holiday season commences. This is a time for love, giving, and helping, and making your heart sing. Do as much for others, and don't expect that they do in return for you, but that in their own way, they will pass it on, and in that way, we will all change the world. Are we good? I mean, there's more, but I don't know. There's 3 more pages, but I mean, that's kind of the gist of it. It was just a really beautiful piece that came through.
That is very excellent. Geez, you know, it is funny too. I was looking over, I found my book, and it was this one's from 11/11/2015. And I remember at the time I was really in the collective consciousness of the Shikani oversoul energy, and I was feeling that unity consciousness and how it is sent through the moonlight, and it says, and there is no accident that no longer is it about pushing against that which does not make us happy or that makes us whole. Integrated. There's the word integrated.
Perfect. That's
integrated. Perfect. It's about being like the water, flowing into what you desire while you simply allow what you do not to exist. Without your focus, allow it. Like the ripples of your waters, to simply allow the water and watch the ripples extend out beyond you until you become the ripple, until you become the whole, disappearing, evaporating. You are water. you flow with the harmony of all. When you allow all owing, you owe it to all of yourself to become what you are, what you already are, what is already. You allow yourself to open the portals to yourselves. Ascension is becoming aware of what you already are. You have come full circle, full cycle. You are now about to embark upon the journey you came here to pick up the tools you needed to become your fully integrated selves in service to the all. The most important job of the teacher is to teach, and then to teach themselves, to assist in showing them who they are by simply being who you are. That is why you came, to reveal yourself and all that you are and all that you can be, simply by allowing yourself to flow into the place of knowing this, believing this. For it is in the believing that the seeing happens, not the other way around. Allow yourselves to become intimate with yourselves, that you may be intimate, vulnerable with another. For it is in this way that you will come, there's the blooming thing, that you will come to expand, blooming into the flower of life. Thank you, Michael, that you are creation in physical form. You are the mirrors of God, the images of the first creation. You, your ancestors, your galactic families, you are the images of creation. So that's the kind of stuff that comes through.
Isn't that funny how like both of our messages touched on the same points for quite a while, but they were just said.
And this was 3 years ago. That you know. Yeah. How long ago did you write yours?
Last year, Christmas, right before Christmas last year.
Last year, and this was 11/11 of 2015 that I wrote that.
You know,
so yeah, go ahead.
Recurring theme here tonight.
Recurring theme.
Because I can see, I just say I can hear you and I can see you. So you talk.
The freezing.
No, I can hear you and I can see you. So you just keep talking, girl.
Oh, well, I was gonna say maybe we should close out, or if you want to keep going.
No, we should. It's getting late, and it's and we covered a lot tonight. I think we covered a lot of ground. I think we talked about the subjects we really wanted to, as far as embracing the automatic writing and sharing some of the stuff and our experiences, and you know, some oracle messages for tonight, and just embracing this new moon energy and this gathering together and sharing and being open and vulnerable, and activating light languages for those, you know, who want that. You know, like Alicia said, get in contact with her. Are you doing private sessions yet for light languages? Or she's got a full-time business of her own. So
I do. Right now I'm on community service.
Right. Okay. So anyway, so community service. So
yeah,
you know,
and feel free to shoot me an email, and when I have a little bit of time, I'll take a look at it. And
I believe me,
Wendy and I have to schedule
we have to schedule time together, even just our
to get together.
Even just our girl night the other night, we had to schedule, because it's like, otherwise it just doesn't happen. So that's another lesson for all of you guys. You know, we got to schedule this stuff, and this is one of the things that if I'm getting that intuition, I think maybe I'll do a video on 9/11 to do the 11/11 energy. And then I mentioned it to her, and then we were talking about this, and then it came together. So, and the beauty of it is that I got to interact with new people. I see, and I see all kinds of, hey, everybody. So I'm seeing new people commenting, and so this is why we do this. So yeah, reach out, check out Alicia's videos on Temple Beautiful. Check out, of course, my videos on Languages of Lights. And we'll get into more about her business. Do you want to put a shout out for your business out there?
Sure. So if you guys are into like natural beauty products and things, but with a twist that they're all original recipes from history, and they're all organic and fully sustainable, and we put light codes in them, hint, hint. Not that a lot of people know that, because that's a secret. Check out our historical apothecary. It's at www.litttlebits.etsy.com. I'll see if I can put it here.
Yeah, put it in. It might or might not. I'm not. It should let you in the chat. I think it'll let you put a link in the chat.
It did. Oh, you know what? It did not let me put that.
Okay. Sometimes it won't let you. So we'll put it in
later.
We can, or you can put it in the event. Actually, when we're done with the video, you can put it in the comment section because it'll be okay in there.
That's
so
fine.
put it in the comment section of the video. Because she's got the cutest Etsy shop, and I know I need to get over there shopping too. And I want some of that rose balm.
Yes, yes.
I know you probably got to make some more, but she actually has a laboratory. She researches these recipes back to the day. She makes sure that they are the most pure ingredients and the alchemy that goes behind it in her laboratory and really making the stuff and packaging it. Her packaging is absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to trying some of her products as long as we've been friends. How lazy am I? See how much you guys I love shopping.
We're busy. We're both really busy.
So I was like, I don't even have time to go,
Mimi says, she goes, Mimi goes, you mean there's light codes in my lip balm?
Yes. Yes, there's light codes in your lip balm.
And then when I don't, so like when I do, because people often wonder how I'm able to put these recipes together, because there are no directions for them. It's not like they say like number 1, number 2, number 3. They don't even tell you sometimes how much of the thing.
No.
So this is a lot of channel. People don't realize this, but this is a lot of
idea. I really thought you had the step-by-step. This is how you do it. Like sometimes an actual recipe.
We have.
You're good. Keep going.
Sometimes we do. Sometimes we have like sometimes 18th century recipes will give us the amount of ingredients, but a lot of times recipes don't. They just say this is what you need, and you have to know how to put it all together to make it work. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But that's where we were talking about channeling. I use myself, my full potential a lot, because if I don't understand something, I information from my other timelines, or my teams and my guides and stuff. So your lip balm, not just a lip balm, it's a really cool lip balm.
That's right. And that's what I tell people too. And I've got, like, I collect when I'm walking and I do languages and I'm making videos, I pick up seashells, and I am literally, my guides one day had me in tears, literally had me in tears as I'm standing there. And they said to me, as I'm picking up seashells, they said to me, do you have any idea the strength and the power that you have to place these light codes, these light languages within these seashells, or draw your symbols on them and send them out to the world? Do you have any idea how powerful that is? You don't, it's like they even tell me on a daily basis how I even don't appreciate my own, the value of what I do, and how much more we can put this out to the world, like you and your light codes and your lip balm. One day I really hope that you can be able to advertise something that says, light coated lip balm, I mean, where people actually understand what that actually means. And so when I'm doing my videos, these are when I say multi-layered and multi-dimensional, people don't even understand. Something I wanted to say that somebody said to me, very astute comment the other day that someone made on my video, and they said, I love the things that you say, and I also, how did they say, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but it was something about, and I also hear what you don't say. Very interesting that they said that, because when even in these layers, and we mentioned about music, this is perfect. As we kind of wrap this up though, about music, also about, there's as much information and light codes and emotion in the pauses and the silence in a song or a piece of music as there is in the notes themselves. So a lot of the information that's being poured through these videos, whether it's these cards, light languages, just having a normal conversation like this, what is happening though is once we all raise our frequencies, we're actually sending and receiving higher dimensional information. It's like, if I want to say, like they're saying right now, reading between the lines, it's almost like there's information stuck in between the things we do say and what we don't say. There's information. I'll start to say something and they'll say, you need to say that a different way, or not need to, but I'm guided to say it a different way, or I'm guided to not say it at all. Sometimes I really want to say something and they're like, maybe not a good time.
And somebody told me, they said, well, what do you think, like Michael Jackson and all his finger moving and arm waving and stuff when he dances, what do you think he was doing? And I said, I don't know, he was dancing. And they said, no, like that was the vibrational frequencies going through like his own light language when he'd like use his arms, like how you do when you talk.
Yes,
and I never actually
I do it a lot. And as you guys can see, a lot of times if I'm start speaking, I'll actually start signing and I'm speaking in English. And I don't know why. Yeah. Or when I'm in my light languages, somose toliantore she malari la core nahira koriato shodlaki to me lase. So it's almost as if I already know what to do and I don't know how I know.
Well, it's another multi verse of that explanation.
And Tukur, the Lyran being that we were talking about Tukur earlier, one of Jim's, and I've mentioned this before, but in one of Jim's earlier channelings of Tukur, the Lyran being, she said, watch Jim's hands when he's channeling me, because when his hands are moving, I'm actually sending you information. I was one of the very few people that actually like picked up on that actually heard it, not only heard it, but I ran with it. And it was shortly thereafter I started actually signing in light language. So it was as if she was telepathically telling those of us if this is your highest excitement, for those of you who want to know this, guess what? There's galactic information in the signs. And so I started paying more attention, and all of a sudden I just started signing.
That's cool. That's very cool. That's a nice confirmation.
So Tukur was actually one of the ones that was instrumental for me in doing that. But well, thank you guys so much. It was really great to be with you again, Alicia, and thank you so much. And I'm so glad that you got to talk about your business and what you do. And so we'll put the link for her Etsy shop, and she works really hard. It's hard for us to get together. That's why we don't do stuff during the day, because she's really, really busy. And her and her partner, I don't know how, I tell her sometimes I just wouldn't want to be as busy as she is, because I really give her a lot of credit for everything that she does. And then also having this whole spiritual stuff and the light languages and doing this kind of stuff and how it's bleeding over. And I did want to mention too, or if you want to tell everybody just really quickly, on the temple beautiful part, I know we talked about that too, about looking up the ancient recipes from Egypt and having a whole temple beautiful line of products. And so that was one of the things that I was excited about her launching too, but she's so busy.
Yeah, like the big plan was we were going to keep the historical portion separate from like the spiritual portion, or I don't really know what term to call that, but I have one, like I was going to, people could say, oh, like I had this past life, but I would like to get more information. And then I could channel what oils and stuff go into this past life oil for them. So that was one of the things I was going to do, that I only made it for a couple of people because I never actually got it up. It was just people who we were on the same frequency, and they're like, hey, somehow I heard you did this. But that never got up. And same thing with upgrades, downloads, DNA activations where you get sore, like sometimes your spine and your back get really sore. I wanted to make some stuff for that. But
exactly.
The Egyptian stuff is coming. I have like a facial product in the works. Also, I am good friends with the woman who had a life experience as Hatshepsut, and so we're going to recreate one of her perfumes. The Nefertari line is coming along. It's coming. It's coming.
I know. I have a million things I want to do. I have a million, it's like I want to, there's so many things I want to create with light languages and symbols and stuff that I create for people specifically. And like you said, the symbols for people specifically. Do you have what ails you, kind of a thing. And how can we approach this from a galactic standpoint? How can I take the information that I get and receive and put it into a physical symbol on a piece of paper or a drawing or something and have it help you or illuminate you or attune you or, assist you in your awakening process. There's so many tools that we can use. And, we've got our pendulums. I know Alicia and I both like using our pendulums.
Oh, I was supposed to show you my crystal ball. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. Do you have it nearby?
I can go get it real quick. But I wanted to say before we get off that subject, Lonnie here, my friend Lonnie. No, you guys can kind of see her. Like wave.
Yeah, we see her. Hi, honey.
So I have Lonnie, and then I have Hannah, one of my other friends. They actually take separate portions of like the historical. So Lonnie makes all the original soap recipes from history. So like if you wanted a Victorian soap that they actually used, like she makes that, So
okay.
It's kind of a cool joining of women, actually. Three women.
It is totally.
We get to all kind of put our expertise together. So yeah, and we have her shop in my shop.
That's awesome.
So I'll go grab my crystal ball quick, and then we really gotta.
And I was gonna, because we should wrap up, and I know it's getting late. You guys have been such champs hanging out with us. Go get your crystal ball, and somebody asked about Jim Charles. James Charles.
I was gonna say if you wanted to pull cards or something, I'll be right back.
Jim Charles was one of the first people that I found, one of the earlier channelers that I found, and I was in Human Colony. You can find it at www.hucolo.org, HUCOLO, or you can just look up Human Colony. There's 2 YouTube channels. They broadcast live channelings every Saturday. I've hosted it many times. I mean, I've channeled on it many times. I've hosted light languages on there. It's how part of my galactic family that helped me wake up. He channels many beings. Alicia and I met through Human Colony. And Jim was one of the first people who started translating, or shall I say interpreting, I guess, my light languages. And so I would speak them, and then he would give an interpretation of what it was, the message that I was saying. And I have to tell you guys, and I think Alicia would agree, one of the most exciting things for me to do, at that time was, I was like, I want to be able to interpret these light languages from myself and other people, because he was doing it and excited me so much. And I know even to this day, when I have the opportunity to be at a Saturday webinar, when I do do a light language blessing and he interprets our blessings, isn't it exciting, Alicia, it really is exciting when he gives us his interpretation of what we're saying in light languages. It's really, and I think to myself, wow, that was pretty dang profound. I'm like, shoot, that came out of me, it just.
I know. I hear you.
But I found mine.
Okay, do you guys want to see my?
I have my little crystal. This is my little crystal ball, and I've got
one.
One of my crystal. Look at her. I've never seen her crystal ball, so I told her she had to show it to all of us tonight.
Yeah.
Dang. Oh, it's beautiful.
And it's very heavy and it's very large. So I'm excited.
Oh my God. I can't wait to, man, we should do a hangout. Let's do some readings with it once you can start playing with it.
No, give me a quarter. I love quarters. Oh boy, sorry. It's been a really crazy night tonight.
Like, are you already talking to your crystal ball? Because I'm very intimate with my toys, by the way.
I am, yeah.
I'm very intimate with my stuff. We have quite the
Oh my
relationship. I love it when I'll go to ask my pendulum. I'll ask Charlotte. Her name's Charlie. Her name is Charlotte, and she's Charlie for short. And I'll go to, I'll have like a burning question, right? And I'll go to answer her. I'll get my crystal ball. And I have to laugh because even Charlie, sometimes she'll say to me, do you really need to ask me that? And I'm like, well, yeah, I know I already know the answer. I said, but could you just validate it for me?
I do that all the time. All the time.
I'm like, just humor me. Just humor me.
Exactly. Exactly.
But she's always right.
Yeah.
She's always right on the money. And hey, I can witch water. Speaking of water, I literally witched water. Yes. You know, where you can divine water. And I found the water on my property, and right where they dug is right where the well was. So
that's awesome.
So that is something that is a thing, and people can do it. And I've discovered I have the ability to witch water. So
that's very cool.
Anyway, thank you all. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Lonnie. Thank you, all of you out there for watching, whether you watched live, whether you're going to catch it later on the replay. Thank you for all your questions, your comments. Thank you, everyone who watches me already. I love you so much for all of your support, your loving kindness, and your comments. Just everything. Those of you who have blessed me with the private time and private sessions and donations and just everything you guys do for me, whether you're subscribing, whether you're sharing, whether you're, all of that stuff. And it's not stuff I usually, ask for, say, oh, please subscribe and please this and please like. It's not really my game. I'm not really into that kind of thing. But I wanted to let you know that I do appreciate it, because I appreciate everything everyone writes and all the feedback that I get, and just letting me know that, because every single day it just makes me more and more excited about getting up and doing this and inviting friends to come and do this with me and showcasing their stuff and what they do. And there's nothing more exciting, I think, to me than all of us sharing our gifts and abilities. And whether it's trading energy exchanges, it doesn't have to be money. If you guys want a reading, you don't have any money, let me know. Maybe there's something that you have to share with me. Maybe there's so many different ways of energy exchange that it's not just about the nickels and dimes. Every single time you guys tune in, that is an energy exchange. Mm-hmm. And so, but of course we all have, lights and bills and stuff, and, ways that we have to, continue to do this work. And of course, Alicia wouldn't be able to have a business, and she wouldn't be able to make money off of doing what she loves and be able to have a home and a business, and it supports her and her family. And so this is what it's all about, is getting together in these galactic gatherings to encourage all of us to become more open with each other, to believe in yourself, that you really can love what you're doing. Your work really can be your play. And I'm not saying that Alicia doesn't work hard, that I don't work hard, that our play isn't a labor of love, that we aren't physically and mentally tired. And a lot of times when I do these events, I find myself not wanting to do, sessions and back-to-back events, because it's a lot of, we give so much of our love and our energy. And so it's not about, the masses and the money. It's about this. It's about this time together, these co-creations. And I am so blessed that I've met her, to meet these beautiful people, women, men alike. It doesn't matter what kind or what, or, going out there and just lighting their light, doing what they love, or at least bringing the best of what they are doing, even if you're doing something you don't like right now, which is, I've been there, to be able to say, like, I want to do something for myself. I want to, and do it without an expectation. Even if you've only got a few minutes a day, do it without an expectation of, oh, if this doesn't pay my bills, then it's not worth doing. That's the wrong way to look at it. It's about doing what you love and not having the expectation, and then seeing what blossoms. I never would have imagined the day I started speaking light languages that it's like part of me knew, but I was so scared about everything that I couldn't even have my camera on in a hangout with other people because I was too afraid, I was too embarrassed, whatever. And so look at me now. I never would have imagined that I would actually be out there helping other people illuminate themselves and come into their own and figure out what it is that they want to do to make their play their work and make their work their play and really become abundant. And that means abundant in love, comfort, self-care, time to relax, time for yourself, not working, 24/7, but finding balance, but doing what you love. And so thank you all for encouraging me and supporting us, supporting Alicia, all of us. We're supporting each other in this growth process. And so I just want to take a few minutes to thank all of you for that, because it's not something I get to do very often. And even in my videos, I don't go into that a lot. But I want you to know how much I appreciate it and how supportive it really is for me and for all of us to come out and truly be, do that blossom thing, blossom into the flower, that all the things that we came to say we wanted to do. And it doesn't have to be live. It doesn't have to be on the internet. Just because you're not out there in the world like this doesn't mean you don't matter and what you're doing doesn't matter. So be you for me.
Yes,
I love all you guys
too.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because when you are you, exactly, be you for you, because you be you for me, because by you being you for me, you're being you for you, right? We're all mirrors. We're all mirrors of each other. We're all reflections, and we're all reflections of source. Nia soto shona kalia sote sanikila sone toporkoye lahala sote. Sono shora kira kina salise sotoshe ki. Thank you for spending this time and space in the sacred place with us. Thank you, Alicia. Would you like to leave us with one last light language activation blessing? Nia soto shekia.
Dasi ko ono tiata aoliano to pia katata. Hukia na tiata toto kuliata tiata kuniata tuko po tiata. Tasiata kuniata tia koto duloliata na tiato kuyata tiata na niata kana. Tusia po ulu po hayanata. Bushinya na tukulu po ona shahatia la hanikia na tihona tata. Ko omisitia nana. Puklo shotono poviata na hana kua siata. Nisikiata ta hona na mosiata na upiakala hanatiasiona posiata kanasiana no moniana nana puklatiata hasanana mopiata pulisiana homosianata masiala hana masiana ma. Namaste.
Namaste. Toshenoke. Toshedeko sanate. And thank you, Lonnie, for sticking it out with us tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to see that she had a friend there. Is there anything that you'd like to say in any language at all?
Well, thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it tonight, and I'm glad to finally seen you in person, as I've heard a lot about you through Alicia. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. It was really a pleasure to meet you as well. And once again, thank you all for being out there with me, whether it's now or in any now. This is always going to be your now. Nia sotoshe likia. Mahala. Namaste. I love you all. Good love and good night. Nia sote.